No, I'll do it. Because this is a good shot where it is. Tilt it, move it.
Number 0, takes the punch
and 6 trips to the College World Series. Exclusive game day coverage begins with the leadoff show. Now, let's go out to the ballpark.
By the time Auburn finished off LSU Wednesday night, half of the field from the SEC tournament was heading home. At the end of this night, the field will be down to 4. Good evening in War Eagle from the Hoover Met with Brad Law and Quinn Burkina in our Skyview Auburn studio. I'm Andy Burcham. Auburn received dominant pitching from Jake Marciano and Jackson Sanders in the 4-1 win over LSU. Chase Fralick and Eric Guevara both homered. Texas A&M ended the regular season taking 2 of 3 from Mississippi State. The Aggies smacked 114 home runs in the regular season, third most in program history, and their .281 batting average in SEC play was second best in the league. Auburn goes with Andreas Alvarez tonight. The sophomore left-hander is 8-3 with an ERA of 3.54. A&M counters with Ethan Darden. The senior lefty is 4-2 with an ERA of 3.62. When we return, the Butch Thompson pregame report. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Where were you when this happened?
Now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball driven. Deep left center field. That ball is gone. My goodness, gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. 11 to 9 Auburn. Greg Simpson's batting again.
Don't miss the next heart-pounding moment. This is your home for Auburn baseball, the Auburn Sports Network.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let's be honest, senior living shouldn't feel senior, and it's definitely not all about yelling, bingo! At Atlas Senior Living, we focus on great care, great people, and yes, great days. And no one telling you you can't have dessert before dinner. Well, maybe once. And with locations throughout the Southeast, chances are there's an Atlas community closer than you think. Atlas Senior Living, exceptional care, even better living. Visit atlasseniorliving.com to find a community near you and schedule a tour today.
In the SEC, it just means more. But what is it exactly? It's the fans, the students, the traditions, the legends. It's passion to celebrate deeper, reach farther, think smarter, make an impact off the field. It's that intangible thing that happens when 16 schools raise the bar as one. Because in the SEC, it just means more.
Game day coverage of Auburn baseball continues now with the Butch Thompson pregame report.
A day off for the Tigers yesterday, batting practice, a workout, and now back at it today in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament against a Texas A&M ball club that Auburn won 2 out of 3 against in College Station. Does that series factor at all in your mind into this game here tonight?
Well, it was definitely a huge part of our journey. At a tough time, back-to-back weekends on the road. It's just part of the journey, part of our learning. We gained some stuff out of there for sure. As far as matchups, we're back set because hitters change, pitchers change. And so, you recall on that as good. This is less as far as us getting ready to play them today, but and again, this is one of the best offenses in the country. The third baseman will be back. I think of all those things. We got Dre Alvarez going today, who was phenomenal out there and competed and went CG for us on a 10-run game. But things will be different. Dre's coming off one of his toughest outings of the year, and can he get his curveball reset again because it plays so good for the fastball? And what he's consistent at is how he competes, but resetting some of his stuff and getting back to good work. We think it's a good matchup, but again, this is one of those that you go through a whole journey and look back that this is one of the top 3 or 4 offenses that you played the entire year. That's held up. We're both fighting for something. I love the engagement as you're talking about game and practice and being in the hotel, being up here. I think the guys are absolutely being interested in this weekend, still growing, trying to figure some things out. So I'm excited about that. You don't know how the score is going to play out, but we all know the single elimination, man, I think helps a coach. It helps a team to really kind of focus in and not give a pitch away, because if you don't, you might have to overcome something in the game, but at the end of 9 innings or ever how long it takes when it goes final, man, if you don't have more runs, you're going home.
Look back on the Wednesday night win against LSU, really a dominating pitching performance by Jake Marciano and Jackson Sanders. And I thought, we talk about this ballpark and how big it is and how well it can play to pitchers, and it did for Auburn. And I thought those two guys really took advantage of that ballpark against that LSU ballpark.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought LSU was buttoned up. I watched every pitch of the night before. Those guys playing, they were trying to push through. I think they knew for quite a while that this was their postseason, and they had to win this thing. So I thought we got got their best, and they hit some balls hard early in this ballpark at night. Took this thing out. I feel like Bristol Carter was catching balls that were hit pretty well out in center field, and I was wondering if that was going to turn into down the lines. But at the end of the day, we were buttoned up defensively, and guys have. When we're playing good, we get a good rhythm with our pitching staff starting on the mound. Fralick, they get a little rhythm going. We play good defense, communicate well. That happened. And I thought Marciano was the best he's been in probably 6 weeks. I thought I saw him get back into fastball, driving it in. A little elevation when he got ahead in the count led to a couple of strikeouts. A couple of the punch-outs on the off-speed, he just had a little more definition and power. It was like a recovery, and that early season command of real authority over the baseball kind of turned into control for a while, and maybe not as fresh, but I thought I saw some of those early season outings out of Jake. And then maybe one of the most important things that's happened all year for us is what Jackson Sanders has been able to do for us. He's really serving 2 or 3 relief roles in an outing once a week, where he is the guy coming in behind the starter. He's the bridge guy. He's holding leads if they're built, because we're probably not interested in putting him in if we're in a series and behind. And then he's throwing the last pitch of a ball game. That's just been incredible. And that's why he got, his SEC honor by the coaches. I think the whole league's taken notice of what Jackson's done for us. And we had a chance right in the middle of the ball game. I think it was the 5th inning. We got the first 2 guys on. We weren't able to execute a couple of things and really link up. That was the disappointment from the ball game of not being able to play offense. But we did get off a couple of good swings. I thought Chase Fralick's first home run there settled things, and then Guevara, especially going in the 9th with them getting 2 runners on. Guevara's 3rd run and our 2nd home run of the night was huge for us to be able to get to the finish line. So a couple of big swings. Like to play more offense, of course. But, man, we saw a couple of good arms there for LSU, and a couple of national championship arms that were huge to that deal. They looked set and ready to go. So competed well. I think they scored first. Chase answered it immediately, and then we tacked on the 2 more to get out of there. So a good first game. Went back to practice like you mentioned yesterday and just continue to try to link some stuff up with our offense. I think we have to score against A&M. I think they're trying to reset their pitching for next week, but they're so competitive right now. I think we might have to score a few more runs here if we want to stay in the tournament for the weekend.
Wish all the best here tonight. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Hey Tiger fans, it's college baseball season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Backwards K's and Bar Burners. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this postseason. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Auburn baseball games or to any other live event in Auburn, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Auburn Tiger baseball. Let's go Tigers, SeatGeek.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to goodrx.com/weight-loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
The starting lineups are presented by Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
We will start with Texas A&M. The Aggies, as the 3 seed, will be the home team in tonight's game. Michael Early's team, 39 wins and 13 losses. Gavin Grahovac, who's played most of the year at first base, starts at third. The Aggies had an injury at third base during our series there 3 weeks ago. They go with Grahovac at third base, leading off. Caden Sorrell, the home run leader and RBI leader on the team in center field, hits second. The DH is Chris Hakopian. He will hit third. The cleanup man is the left fielder, Jake Dewar. Bear Harrison, the A&M catcher, bats fifth. Hitting sixth is Ben Royo. He's the top slugger and OPS guy on the team in limited action this year. Second baseman Royo hitting sixth. Batting seventh, powerful right fielder Jorian Wilson. Hitting eighth and starting at first base, it's Blake Benderup. And Boston Kellner is the shortstop, batting ninth. Again, for the Aggies, it's Grahovac, Sorrell, Hakopian, Dewar, Harrison, Royo, Wilson, Benderup, and Kellner. Now for your Auburn Tigers, Butch Thompson squad, 37 wins and 18 losses, the 6th seed. Tigers will be the visitors tonight. Here's their lineup. Chris Rembert at second base, back in the leadoff spot for a second straight game here in Hoover. Chase Fralick does the catching. He'll hit second. Hitting third and playing first base, it's Ethan Bingaman. The cleanup hitter is the third baseman, Eric Guevara. Bub Terrell in left field bats fifth. Hitting sixth, the shortstop, Brandon McCrane. Mason McCrane is in right field tonight. He will hit seventh. Hitting eighth and starting as a designated hitter, it's freshman Taylor Belza. Belza the DH. And batting ninth in center field, Bristol Carter. Again for Auburn, it's Rembert, Fralick, Bingaman, Guevara, Terrell, McCrane, Belza, and Carter. Are you looking for pregame activities? Check out the website opelikaunforgettable.com. Check out the stay and play options there. Great hotels, a distillery, unique restaurants, breweries, tons of shopping options, and also, don't forget to visit Opelika's historic downtown entertainment district. Next game, pregame in Opelika. Before we tell you what we're going to do next, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Auburn and Texas A&M will have first pitch at 8:25 tonight, 8:25, so about 26 minutes away from first pitch. Rather than us talk for the next 23 or 24 minutes or so, we're going to take our final pregame timeout, and we have something special for you on the other side before we get things going tonight. So bonus content coming your way on the other side of our final pregame timeout, and then at 8:25, first pitch between the Tigers and Aggies with a spot in the semifinals on the line. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Auburn University Board of Trustee member Bob Dumas.
My senior year, where we won it, was at Burning Tree in Decatur. Had some great teammates and great players, and it just all came together that week. We had been close. We had had a good year. We'd won several tournaments and felt like we had the capacity and the courage to do it, and we did. I think more was a very joyous time, of course, being the first. But I think later on, as you grow older, you begin to appreciate and value that much more.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Auburn and Texas A&M coming up at 8:25 with the spot in the semifinals on the line. If you go to the Auburn Tigers YouTube channel, check out our In the Booth feed. You can actually watch as the crew preps the field, and Auburn is out in left field warming up ahead of tonight's ball game. So that's what's happening now. What we're going to do for the next 20 minutes or so is take you to a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham. He had the man who was honored last weekend at Plainsman Park, Josh Donaldson, on to update life after Major League Baseball, reminisce a little bit. You won't hear the entire Talking Tigers podcast episode, but you will hear a good portion of it, and we'll get to it right now ahead of tonight's 8:25 first pitch between Auburn and Texas A&M. We'll come back a couple of minutes before first pitch and reset things for you, but until then, please enjoy the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Welcome to the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
He came to Auburn from Mobile and didn't get to play for the coach who recruited him. Josh Donaldson thought he would be a college shortstop. For the most part, he played third base until he came back from the Summer Alaska League. Head coach Tom Slater asked him to move behind the plate for his junior year. He flourished there and was drafted by the Cubs. Donaldson made his major league debut with Oakland and was then traded to Toronto. In his first year with the Blue Jays, he was named the American League Most Valuable Player. Donaldson will have his jersey join Frank Thomas, Tim Hudson, Greg Olson, and Bo Jackson on Auburn's Walk of Fame this weekend. The Talking Tigers podcast is brought to you by Sensagreen, proud sponsor of Auburn Athletics. The experts at Sensagreen with Carrier create a cool indoor retreat for heating, cooling, and insulation. offering total comfort care for your Tiger family in East Alabama and Huntsville. Contact today at sensagreen.com. Carrier, turn to the experts. Now the Talking Tigers podcast with Josh Donaldson. Welcome to the Talking Tigers podcast. Just thrilled to be able to get to talk today with one of Auburn's all-time greats in baseball, Josh Donaldson, who will be in town for the Georgia series this weekend, and Friday his jersey will be added to the Wall of Fame at Plainsman Park. And Josh joins us today on the Talking Tigers podcast. War Eagle, glad to have you with us today, Josh.
Hey, Andy, thanks for having me. War Eagle as well. Yeah, it's good times right now.
It is. What was your reaction when John Cohen delivered the news and Butch Thompson delivered the news to you that for the first time since 2010 there would be a new jersey added to the Wall of Fame out in left field?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I talked to Butch the day before, and he was saying I needed to go into a Zoom. So I didn't really know what we were doing because I've done a lot of Zooms and stuff with him and the team in the past. So I was kind of a little caught off guard. But, yeah, I was thrilled. I mean, I think it was kind of one of those deals to where not a lot of people get that opportunity. And to be on the wall with the guys that are up there is special, and I appreciate it very much.
You have been a part of this program not only when you played at Auburn and a significant career at Auburn, but you've remained a part of this program through your major league career now into retirement. So if you would talk about that decision to remain a part of the program and to give back to this program through your life, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Butch Thompson, Carl Nonamaker, Gabe Gross, and, guys that have been close to me in parts of my career and college career, Butch and Carl were there when I was at Auburn, and Gabe Gross was a part of the Oakland A's team that I made my debut on. And so it was, that's a special coaching staff for me to want to come back to and want to see and be a part of what they got going on there because I believe in them, and I know that they're going to put their best foot forward year in and year out to give Auburn the best chance to win and to do what's right by those boys that are there right now.
You will join Tim Hudson, Bo Jackson, Greg Olson, and Frank Thomas. Your jersey will join those on the wall. That's a pretty good quartet that now becomes a quintet of former Auburn players out there on that outfield wall.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's like I said, it's special. I mean, when I was coming up to Auburn, you heard the stories of Frank Thomas. You heard this, I got to walk around and be around Tim Hudson because he would come back and I would see him. And, Greg Olson has always kind of been a big name at Auburn. And, really it's just, like I said, it's special for me to have this opportunity to be a part of it.
Josh, talk about your decision initially to come to Auburn. Who was instrumental in Josh Donaldson coming to Auburn?
Yeah, Steve Renfro was the guy. Steve Renfro was my guy. And I remember, it was right around the time where I was getting a lot of looks from different schools, at least getting letters and things like that. And, Chris Finwood and Steve Renfro had come and watched me play in the summer, pretty much all summer long. And they made me an offer and that I couldn't refuse. And B, it was after I got to go see one of the big football games there. I think we were ranked number 1. It was when we played USC with Matt Leinart and those guys. And it wasn't a good outcome for our football team, but it gave me a great look inside of what the university was about. And I love the family feel that you got when you come to Auburn, and I love the fact that Auburn was pretty much the city, and there was dreams and aspirations when I was coming there with Renfro was going to be the guy. He got fired 2 months after I signed there, so I didn't get to spend any time with Steve, but he was huge in getting me there, and I wanted to honor my commitment of going there under Tom Slater. And I felt like I was going to come in and be the starting shortstop, but things kind of worked out a little bit differently, kind of how I did in my big league career as well.
You were always incredibly athletic, and maybe the most athletic catcher that I can remember at Auburn. I mean, as you mentioned, you came in as a middle infielder and ended up playing most of your career. You played some third base for Auburn, but the last part of your career as a catcher, and were drafted by the A's, or by the Cubs, I should say.
By the Cubs, yeah.
As a catcher. And I remember it may have been your junior season. As a catcher, you led Auburn in pickoffs. Not a pitcher. It was the Auburn catcher that led the team in pickoffs that season. So talk about that transition for you to catcher, at least to get drafted in the major leagues, and then you went back to the infield for the bulk of your major league career then.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. After my freshman year, where I kind of solidified myself as the starting third baseman, I went to go play in the Alaskan League to go and come back as our starting shortstop for the next year. And before we all went to summer ball, me and a few of the catchers were out there, and they were getting ready, and I was timing them on the stopwatch that throws down to second base. And they were like 2 flat, 2-1, whatever it may be. And, you know, I'm not shy about kind of saying what I wanted to say. I was like, I'm like, come on, guys, that's the best we can do. And so they're like, and everybody in college, they called me Don. They're like, Don, let's see what you can do. And so I went back there, and Coach Slater was in the outfield watching, and I think the first throw I threw down to second base was a 187. I go to Alaska, play short, come back. We lose Josh Bell and another kid that was in high school to the draft. And Slates comes to me. He's like, Josh, what do you think about catching this year? I go, well, I hadn't thought about it at all. I was like, I thought I was supposed to be playing shortstop. You know, of course, he's like, well, he explains the situation. I said, Coach, if that's going to give us the best chance to win, I'll do whatever you need. And he goes, that's going to give us the best chance. I said, all right, then I'll be back there. And so that's kind of how it all transpired. And pickoffs, when I was younger, I always had I was always paying attention to see how I could get outs. And I remember as a kid watching Benito Santiago, he had this no-look pick to first base, and that's how I got a lot of guys. I did a little no-look pick to first base, and you know, I think one of the other things I took pride in is when you were talking about athleticism. My junior year, I stole 18 bags, and we had Coach Levy come in, and he did a tremendous job with our speed and strength training that year, and got me down to where I was running pretty good. And you know, I took pride in all aspects of my game, whether it was running, whether it was playing defense, hitting. I enjoyed all of it, and that's what really benefited me throughout my career.
158 games in an Auburn uniform, hit 307 in your career, 42 doubles, 28 homers, 122 runs batted in your junior year, your last year at Auburn. 349 the average, scored 63 runs, 75 hits, 19 doubles, 54 runs batted in, 127 total bases. And again, just really active as a catcher for Auburn. What do you remember about that junior year, that last year in an Auburn uniform for you, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I remember we got started off hot that year. We just right before SEC play, we took 2 out of 3 from Arizona State, and they were top 5, I think, in the country at the time. And it was a huge series, and we were kind of coming off a high. And then we started SEC play against Georgia, who wasn't very good at the time. Well, like they had been playing well at least. And we had some stuff happen. We lost our closer. We lost Bianucci. I got banged up with a thumb injury against Arkansas. I think I ended up having to miss the Sunday game. I was able to come back, but we just did, after the Arizona State series, we just never got firing on all cylinders again. And at that time, especially without NIL, I felt like all 3 years when I was at Auburn, we had pretty good offenses, but we just did not have enough pitching depth. And that's what cost me our freshman year when we were in the Florida State Regional. And we lost. We had to go Johnny bullpen the championship game due to some injuries. And I like the fact of what Butch and them are doing now. It seems like they have really shored up a lot of arms there. And that's where Auburn's really struggled when I was there in years prior, was not having the depth because of the lottery money and all that stuff. We all can go into that all day, but they've done a great job of developing guys and making sure they have enough arms there.
48th overall pick of the Cubs as a catcher. When did the transition then happen for you, Josh, to go from catching to that corner infielder that you played for really all of your major league career?
When I got drafted, I didn't know if it was going to be catchers at third base because I was still kind of splitting time. I figured that it would probably be as a catcher just because offensive catchers really aren't a thing. And I felt like that was kind of where I was going to get some value at. In 2011, we had 3 catchers in AAA. Our manager at the time was like, hey, Josh, do you want to play a position? Because of the 3 catchers, I was probably the only one that could go to another position. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, what do you think about third base? I was like, I love third base. I would love to go back to third base. And, for the last month of the year, I played nothing but third base. And the year was over. I played pretty well there. And I was like, I had just burnt my second option for the major leagues. And people that don't understand that, you get 3 options. You can only burn 1 option a year. So the third year, the next year, if I didn't make the big league team, I was going to burn my last option. Thus, after that season, if I wasn't on the team, then I'd have to get offered up to other teams. So I was starting to see the writing on the wall of like, hey, maybe I might not stick here in Oakland. And so I went and played in the Dominican Republic, and I wanted to play third the entire time because I wanted to show teams that I was versatile. And especially at that time, National League teams, because pitchers were still hitting. And now every team wants to have a versatile guy, but National League was kind of more of the teams that were doing that at that time. So I went to the DR, played well, played third base, hit well, came back spring training 2012, talked to Bob Melvin, our manager at the time, and was like, hey, I'd like to try to play some third base in spring training a little bit. He's like, yeah, we got the reports. You did well there. We're looking forward to seeing you over there. Well, first day of our full team camp, Scott Sizemore, who was a starting third baseman, we're doing bunt drills, like something harmless. Our coach is rolling a ball down the third baseline, and it kind of hops off line, and he tries to replant his knee, and it popped. And he was down and blew out his knee, and that gave me my first opportunity. So that wasn't the last time I got sent down. I got sent down 2 more times throughout that year, and then finally at the end of the year kind of stuck whenever I made some more changes offensively.
All right, I want to ask you about your first game in Major League Baseball, but I do want to go back to that summer in the Dominican Republic. What was that experience? I mean, I know you were there to work at third base and to hopefully, get the attention of the Major League club, but what was that experience like playing winter ball in the Dominican Republic?
I loved it. I absolutely embraced it. It was, it felt like Game 7 every day. There was huge rivalries that are down there. And it gave me a different perspective of kind of what the Latin players feel like when they come over to the United States. Because there was only probably 5 or 6 guys that were from the U.S. that were on the team. And, we kind of, hang out together,
sure,
try to eat. I will say this, I had probably some of the best fried chicken I ever had in the Dominican. And I know from, people that are probably listening to this from the South, they love fried chicken. The best fried chicken I ever had. And I got like probably 3 breasts and a whole plate of fries for like $2.50. And it was falling off the bone. So I loved it.
How were you selected to a team in the Dominican Republic?
My agent at the time had talked to some teams, and because I had a little bit of Major League service time, I was a little bit more appealing at that time.
Great story. I love that. All right, talk about your first game in Major League Baseball. I've talked to Tim Hudson about that, Greg Olson, 2 of the guys that you joined on the War Eagle wall now. What was that experience like, that first game to play in Major League Baseball for Josh Donaldson?
My first game, I didn't start. So I was in San Jose, California the night before. and I had to go buy a suit because it was our first trip where from Sacramento we could take a bus to. And I'm like, I'm not getting called up. I haven't heard anything. Like, I'm going to be gone for 3 days. And sure enough, we're almost in San Jose, and our trainer's like, do you have your passport? And I'm like, what do you mean? Of course I have my passport. He's like, well, he doesn't tell me at the time. We get off, they tell me that I'm getting called up to the big leagues. Well, I have to take a red eye from San Jose to Toronto the next day. I get in at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and we have a day or a night game. So I got to be at the yard at like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I get to the field. They tell me I'm not going to start today. I'm probably going to start the next day. Well, we're getting killed like 8-0 or something, like 8-1. I can't remember the exact score. And it's the 8th inning, and our manager's like, hey, you're going to grab an at-bat. I'm like, okay, great. So I get into the box, and I take the first 2 pitches, and I'm like, oh, this is normal, you know? And then I take 1 strike, and then I step out of the box like on a 2-1 count, and my heart just started going crazy. I was just, I mean, there was maybe 5,000 people at the stadium, but still, my heart just was, like, it came to the realization, like, you're in the big leagues. And I proceeded to swing at like 2 pitches that weren't even close to a strike, and I punched out. And then the next day I started my first start. I ended up hitting a game-winning home run for our team. So that was fun.
This summer, we make HVAC history as Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation celebrates our country's 250th birthday. Happy birthday, America! In honor of crossing the Delaware River and kicking Cornwallis out of Yorktown, Sensagreen now offers $1,776 off new HVAC systems. Give me liberty and a new HVAC smart system this summer at Sensagreen with Carrier for the world we share. USA, USA, USA.
Alabama license number 12705/52-808.
In knowing you and watching your career, whether it was at Auburn or in the majors, you never seemed to be intimidated by a situation. You always went into it full bore.
Right, you there?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I can understand swinging at 2 pitches that were well outside this.
Yeah, let's wait another minute.
In that first at bat for you, because that's the way you went about your business, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I always played with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. You know, that was kind of something that, you know, I was never the biggest guy. I was never, you know, probably the most talented guy out there, or at least in my head. But I felt like, you know, one of my favorite Rocky quotes is, it's not how hard you can get hit or take a hit. It's how hard can you get hit and still get back up. And that was like a big part of my career. Like I took the punches, but I was always like, they couldn't keep me down for long.
What was your first call? Who was your first call when you found out in San Jose that you were going to the big leagues at that point?
I mean, of course, my mom, and then I think I called my high school coach at the time, who was really instrumental. But my mom was definitely, she was in tears. She was, you know, she was sad because she didn't have her passport at the time, so she couldn't get up to Toronto.
All right.
But yeah, that was definitely the first couple of calls.
When did she have an
You have been listening to the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham and special guest Josh Donaldson. Anywhere you get podcasts, if you haven't already liked, followed, subscribed to the Talking Tigers podcast, make sure you do that. Andy has a new guest, new episodes released every Monday. You start your week in a really cool way with the Talking Tigers podcast. Full interview with Josh Donaldson is available now. Auburn getting ready tonight to come to the plate against Ethan Darden. Texas A&M has just taken the field here at the Hoover Met behind their left-handed starter. Let's give you the defense. Jake Dewar in left, Caden Sorrell in center, Jorian Wilson in right field. Infield for the Aggies, Gavin Grahovac is at third, Boston Kellner at short, Ben Royo at second, Blake Bender up at first, Bear Harrison is the catcher, and Ethan Darden getting ready to go for Texas A&M. Lefty out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, listed at 6 feet, 175 pounds. He was a 3-year starter at Clemson, and this is his first year with Texas A&M. He's been mostly used as a reliever. This is his 24th appearance of the year, his 4th start. Each of his last 3 outings have been starts, so a 4th straight start for Darden. 4-2 with a 3.62 earned run average. 32 and a third innings pitched, 29 hits, 13 earned runs, 13 walks, 23 strikeouts. He's hit 5 batters, thrown 2 wild pitches, and teams have hit 244 against Ethan Darden. Rembert, Fralick, and Bingaman, the first to face this left-hander. And here to get you started on what has turned into a really pleasant Friday night, the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
Shocked that we're even playing this ball game when you looked at the radar earlier today. First pitch weather forecast brought to you by Jackson Services. When your comfort quits, Jackson Services shows up. Heating, air, and plumbing done right the first time. Family owned since 1973. Call Jackson Services today and feel the difference. Jackson Services, delivering comfort, creating trust. 68 degrees at game time tonight. Wind out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour and cloudy skies overhead. This is the final quarterfinal day and game in the SEC tournament. Will be down to 4 teams by the end of this one tonight. And Auburn and Texas A&M play this one. A relatively easy win for Arkansas over Texas in game 1 earlier today. So Arkansas awaits the winner of this game tonight between Auburn and Texas A&M. Tigers took 2 of 3 from the Aggies in College Station. Rained out on Friday. That included a Saturday doubleheader that Auburn swept. Auburn almost swept the series. As a matter of fact, had a chance to win that Sunday game as well. And we're about ready to get underway. Chris Rembert, Chase Fralick, and Ethan Bingaman. The first 3 to face the lefty, Ethan Darden. Darden's last outing was against Mississippi State. Back on May 16th, he went 3 1/3 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits. It was his longest outing of the season. As Brad mentioned, this is his 4th consecutive start, and until this string, he had not started a game for Texas A&M. The lefty winds and fires, and the first pitch to Rembert is outside for ball 1. The umpires tonight, Javero January behind the plate, Derek Malika at first, Kevin Sweeney at second, and David Savage down at third. Wind and the 1-0. Rembert swings and misses. 91 on the fastball from Darden.
Darden faced 2 Auburn batters in the series in College Station. He struck out Fralick, gave up an RBI single to Rembert.
1-1 to Chris. In there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Rembert. 1 for 4 Wednesday night in Auburn's 3-1 win against LSU. Darden the wind and the 1-2. Rembert swings and misses. Curveball down and in. And we're underway.
You mentioned Darden making his 3rd start in the last 4 games for the team. He started the first and last games of the Mississippi State series to close the regular season. First start a week earlier in the opener against Ole Miss. In his 3 starts, he's 0-2, an ERA north of 6, a whip of 1.5 across 7 1/3 innings.
Be interested to see how far he goes tonight. And he gets Chase Fralick with nobody on. The pitch to Chase misses a little bit low to the Auburn catcher. 1 for 4 Wednesday night. That one was a big one. It was a home run that immediately tied the game in the 4th inning after LSU had taken the lead in the top of the inning. Swing out in front. A ball and a strike to Fralick.
Really good changeup there at 82 and away. So he was early and it was away from him.
A ball and a strike to the Auburn catcher with Ethan Bingaman waiting on deck. 1-1 pitch. Swing, and he lifts it up and out of play off the left side. Another big crowd on hand here. The crowd Wednesday night of 14,461, the 4th largest crowd ever in SEC tournament history. And this is going to be another big one before the night's over. 1-2 pitch to Fralick. Swing and a miss, and Darden has struck out the first 2.
Auburn came out eager to hit tonight, and they're going after the off-speed pitch. Very, very early. Darden's using that changeup and a breaking ball effectively. This is an experienced starting pitcher. He appeared in 47 games in 3 years at Clemson. 32 of those were starts. He had 9 or more starts all 3 years at Clemson.
2 outs, and here's Bingaman. First pitch, down the middle for a strike. And he is throwing strikes here in the first. Wind and the 0-1. Bingaman takes it in there for strike 2.
Oh, that was up around the letters. But you're not going to see Auburn use a challenge this early and from a hitter.
0-2. Missed the outside corner. 82 on the off-speed delivery. A ball and 2 strikes to Bingaman. 0 for 4 Wednesday night against LSU. First game of this tournament for A&M tonight. Pitch on the way. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bingaman. Grahovac at third plays relatively close to the line. The first baseman Binderup well off the line. 2-2. Swing on a foul off the right side into the stands above the concourse level here at the Hoover Met.
That's a good job by Ethan to stay back on that. Darden tried to go another off-speed pitch low, get him to go fish, but he stayed back.
Count remains 2-2 to Bingaman, the pitch. This low, count goes full. 2 outs, nobody on for Auburn. We're in the top of the first. Full count to Ethan Bingaman, freshman All-SEC this season. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Auburn has a runner aboard.
What a good at bat. Fell behind 0-2. And a high strike call to get to strike 2, but Ethan kept that strike zone in mind and didn't go fish.
Here's Eric Guevara. He had the best night of anybody for Auburn on Wednesday. Went 2 for 4 with a solo home run. That gave Auburn a 3-1 lead. That gave Auburn just a smidge of breathing room, despite the fact that LSU had the tying runs aboard when that game ended Wednesday night late. Bingaman at first, good lead over there. Stretch in the pitch. Swing on a miss and a fastball.
Ooh, Eric with a home run cut there. He was looking for his 3rd home run in as many games in this ballpark. And got a fastball on the first pitch, too.
Darden has one of the 5 pickoffs this season for Texas A&M as Bingaman gets his lead. Pitch on the way to Guevara. Ground ball off the glove of the second baseman and into center. Bingaman makes the turn at second. He'll go to third. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Auburn. That ball was smoked.
Yeah.
And off the glove of Royo and into center field enough that Bingaman could go from first to third on the play.
Royo is starting for just the 8th time this year, and you're right, it was drilled. They had him shaded up the middle, playing him to pull as a right-handed hitter. It was hit so hard, though, that even though Royo got a pretty good glove on it, it still rolled all the way halfway to center field.
And it gives Bub Terrell an opportunity to bat with 2 outs and 2 on for the Tigers. Bub was 1 for 4 Wednesday night. Bingaman at third. Guevara at first. The pitch to Bub. He swings and misses at a pitch that was down and away at 78 miles an hour.
He thought he might get a first pitch fastball there. Was way out in front of the change at 78.
Darden has opened each at bat with a strike. 15 homers, 41 runs batted in this season for Bub, batting .307. Stretch in the pitch. Swing, drive, center field, base hit. Bingaman is home. Guevara makes the turn at second. He will go to third. Terrell is going to second base, and he's in with a double. Second and third, and 2 outs, and Auburn breaks on top 1-0.
Terrell got Auburn's first hit here Wednesday night against LSU to the same spot between second base and the second baseman into right center field. Just a solid swing, hooked it into the green grass, and that time it brings home a run.
12th double of the year for Terrell. That's a hustle double for Bub.
Every bit of this with 2 outs, Andy.
2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah.
Second and third for Brandon McCrane. Darden off the wind in the pitch. Ball 1 high. Bingaman walked with 2 outs on a really good at bat on 3-2. He has come home to give Auburn a 1-0 lead. 1-0. There's a strike to Brandon McCrane. Whew. Guevara at third and Terrell at second. Base hit gives Auburn 2 more. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip at the plate.
If you're a pitcher this week in Hoover with the ABS system, you've got to use the low part of the strike zone. You've got to take advantage of the fact, like the time for complaining about it's done, you got to use it now.
1-2 to McCrane. Wind and the pitch. It missed outside, 2-2. A walk with 2 outs after strikeouts to Rembert and Freilich. Bingaman draws a walk. Guevara sends him to third with a single, and Terrell doubles him home. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon McCrane, the pitch. Waited on an off-speed pitch and fouled it back off the screen at 81 miles an hour. Count remains 2-2 to the Auburn at shortstop.
Right-handers were hitting 280 in against Darden. Got a righty there trying to battle with 2 strikes.
Now the 2-2. Chopper back to the pitcher. Darden flips to first, and the inning comes to a close, but Auburn gets a run. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Tigers with a 1-0 lead as Texas A&M comes to the plate. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Where were you when this happened?
4-3 Auburn, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, Super Regional Championship game. Burkhalter comes set. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He struck him out! He struck him out! The Tigers are going to Omaha, and the Tigers dogpile in Corvallis.
Don't miss the next heart-pounding moment. This is your home for Auburn baseball, the Auburn Sports Network.
In the SEC, it just means more. But what is it exactly? It's the fans, the students, the traditions, the legends. It's passion to celebrate deeper, reach farther, think smarter, make an impact off the field. It's that intangible thing that happens when 16 schools raise the bar as one. Because in the SEC, it just means more.
Andres Alvarez has a 1-run lead as he takes the mound in the bottom of the first. Defense behind him has Bub Terrell in left, Bristol Carter in center, Mason McCrane in right field. And the infield, the usual suspects. Eric Guevara at third, Brandon McCrane at short, Chris Rembert at second, Ethan Bingaman at first. Chase Freilich does the catching. Alvarez, 5'11", 199, sophomore right-hander, Seminole, Florida, 8-3 in 13 starts this year. ERA 3.54. It's because he gave up 8 runs a week ago in a short outing against Georgia. Before that, he'd been sub-3. This year, 68 2/3 innings, 62 hits, 27 earned runs, 24 walks. He is 7 strikeouts away from 100 on the year, and teams are batting .239 against Andres Alvarez. Had his best start of the year against Texas A&M. He opened the series against the Aggies, that run rule win. He went all 7 innings, threw 114 pitches, and was just had a warrior mentality in that game against the Aggies. He's got a 1-0 lead now as Grahovac, Sorrell, and Hakopian come to the plate in the bottom of the first.
All 3 of these guys, first-team All-SEC selections. A&M had 4 first-team All-SEC selections, the most in the league this year, and Gavin Grahovac will lead it off. Batting .351, 19 homers and 71 runs batted in for the third baseman that missed all of last season, but has returned to be outstanding this year for a team as a squad, batting .305, 114 home runs this season for A&M. And Alvarez winds and fires, and it's a fastball for strike 1 at 95.
And Alvarez immediately uses the bottom of the strike zone. That's not a strike except this week in Hoover, and he's using it to his advantage, or did on the first pitch.
Wind in the 0-1. Grahovac took it outside. That was the curve outside at a ball and a strike. That curve ball is his difference pitch.
Yeah, that's the key. He's got to be able to land it.
Yeah. Wind and the 1-1 to Grahovac. Even further outside, 2 balls and a strike. That was the slider that missed outside by Alvarez. Alvarez trying to turn things around. He got roughed up a little bit by Georgia last weekend at Plainsman Park. Now the wind in the 2-1. Fastball, strike 2.
Yeah, to show you what an anomaly that was, he gave up 8 runs to Georgia last week. You can't find a 2-start stretch this year where he gave up 8 combined.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That last fastball was 97. 2-2 to Grahovac. Swing and a miss and a fastball down at 97. Good luck with that one, friends.
Yeah, outside corner at the knees. And the Auburn fans respond. Good number of fans. I noticed, too, they're into it tonight. I noticed that when the head coaches meet at home plate with the umpires, Butch Thompson walked back to the dugout. The Auburn crowd came to their feet. They gave the head coach a standing ovation just after the handshake line.
Strikeout to Grahovac. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. And here's Caden Sorrell. Center fielder takes the first pitch inside for ball one. Sorrell batting .343 with 23 homers and 74 runs batted in. This is a loaded lineup offensively.
Yeah, this is closer to what you saw last week against Georgia than Wednesday was.
Right side of the infield over, and that fastball misses outside, and Sorrell is ahead 2 balls and no strikes.
Grahovac and Sorrell together driven in 145 runs.
Wind and the 2-0 to Sorrell. Line drive, base hit into left, took it the opposite way. Bub is able to get over there, cut it off before it gets to the warning track, and Sorrell is aboard with a 1-out single.
Definition of letting the velocity do the work there. Sorrell just put the bat out, didn't try to pull it, let the 96-mile-an-hour fastball jump off his bat.
So a 1-out single for Sorrell, who has 10 stolen bases this season. And here's Chris Hakopian, the DH. Batting .315, 9 homers, 33 runs batted in. Tigers lead it 1-0. We're in the bottom of the first of the SEC tournament, the final quarterfinal game. Stretch in the pitch. Misses outside, ball one. And Alvarez early on has not landed an off-speed pitch in the strike zone yet.
Nope, been all fastballs for strikes so far. You're right about Sorrell. They don't run a lot as a team. They just rather get up there and bash it, but he'd be the leading candidate if they are going to run.
He gets his lead over there. Now the 1-0 to Hakopian. Missed the outside corner, not by much. 2 balls and no strikes to Hakopian. He fell behind Sorrell 2-0, and Sorrell took a fastball to left field for a base hit. Now 2-0 the count to Hakopian. Stretch and a throw to first, and the runner is back. A little bit of a stumble for Sorrell to get back to the bag. Tigers with the blue jerseys tonight. White script, Auburn across the front, orange numbers, white names and numbers on the back. Stretch in the pitch. Ball 3 inside to Hakopian.
And with all the Auburn fans here and Auburn in blue on a Friday night, it's not quite a home game, but it feels a little bit like it.
3 balls and no strikes, the count to Hakopian. Stretch by Alvarez in the pitch. Down the middle, 96, strike one. Hakopian with 9 homers, 33 runs batted in, batting .315 coming into play tonight. Sorrell gets his lead at first. Stretch in the 3-1. Jammed him to the left side. Guevara to second for 1 to first. Not in time for the double play. Well, I'm surprised Auburn even got the lead runner down at second base. That was a bit of a gamble, but it paid off as Guevara forced Sorrell at second base.
Prudent risk there for Eric Guevara. Knew who he was throwing to, trusted his arm. And if it's anybody other than Hakopian running, he had some struggles with his leg about 3 weeks ago in the game before Auburn got to College Station. He collided with a teammate.
Well, you could really notice it when we were there.
Yeah.
And he is kind of walking behind the bag at first base. Boy, that was a really good pitch on 3-1 because he jammed him with a fastball.
That's poised by Alvarez there. He didn't give in on the 3-1 pitch.
Here's Jake Dewar, left-handed hitter. Left fielder for the Aggies, batting .299, 6 homers, 47 runs batted in. Pitch to him. Drops in, and there's a curveball for the strike.
We may have been seeing the slider earlier that he hadn't been able to get. That was the flat-out 12-6 hammer.
Not sure Auburn has a better hammer than the one that Alvarez throws. Short lead for Hakopian. The pitch to Dewar. That one dropped low, a ball and a strike. 1-0 Auburn leads, a runner at first, and 2 outs for A&M. We're in the bottom of the first. Alvarez checks the runner at first, comes set. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike to Dewar. Alvarez comes set. Pitch. Dewar takes a changeup in there for a strike. I believe that. No, that was the curve, but it was up a little bit. But it's strike 2 to Dewar.
He's thrown him a whole lot of off-speed pitches in this at bat. He might be ready to wind up the fastball.
2-2 pitch. Auburn doesn't even hold Hakopian at first. He gets a lead over there and a good one. Pitch on the way to Dewar, and he fouled it back. That was a fastball at 96.
Now, if he feels like he's landed the curve a couple of times after showing him the fastball, that's what I might throw here. Kind of in rhythm with it.
Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stretch and the pitch. Fastball again, got it in on the hands, and a good job by Dewar to foul it off. What is a spectacular night for baseball. And there were times today that we didn't think there was a chance we'd be playing any games today. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled back again. Another fastball.
3 straight.
Yeah. And all 3 fouled off by Dewar. In spite of the fact that to get to 2 strikes in this at-bat, Alvarez landed 2 curveballs.
I keep waiting on him to go back to that 12-6 curveball. I think now you've got his bat sped up, and now with that last elevated fastball, he might be looking up.
Alvarez comes set again. 2-2 pitch again. Curveball that missed outside, full count. And now Hakopian will be off with the pitch. And Alvarez is going to be above 20 pitches when this inning ends. 3-2 the count to Dewar. Hakopian off with the pitch from first. Here it is. Fastball right down to the middle. He was looking curveball, Brad, and he got the heater at 97. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Alvarez. No runs, a hit, no errors. A man left for A&M. We're through 1. Auburn 1, Texas A&M nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
He's got the speed. He's got room. He's going to score.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
For the win. Got it! Let's go!
Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go.
Deep to center field. Oh, it's gone!
Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
We go to the second, bottom third of the order for Auburn against Ethan Darden. Tigers lead it 1-0. Darden struck out Rembert and Fralick to open the first, then walked Bingaman on a 3-2 pitch. Guevara singled, sending Bingaman to third, and Bingaman scored on the base hit to center by Bub Terrell. 1-0 Auburn, and it will be Mason McCrane, Taylor Belza, and Bristol Carter in the second.
25 pitches for Darden in his other 3 starts. Again, usually a reliever this year. His other 3 starts, he went 2 innings, 2 innings, and 3 1/3. So this is not a guy they're going to call on to go 5-6 innings in this ballgame. How much can you get out of him if you're Auburn before he's out of the ballgame?
Mason McCrane 1 for 2 Wednesday night will lead it off for Auburn. He's back in the defensive lineup for Auburn in right field as well. He was the DH on Wednesday. Shift is on the right side of the infield, the pitch. And McCrane was out in front of an off-speed delivery for strike 1. Slightly open stance for McCrane, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Back-to-back at 89. First one was a little bit away, that one on the inner half.
And now the third baseman, Grahovac, will play where the second baseman typically does, and Royo into short right field. Pitch on the way. McCrane drives it, deep center field. Sorrell back, he's at the warning track, he looks up, it's gone! Mason McCrane on an 0-2 pitch, hits his 6th home run of the year, and Auburn doubles its lead to open the second inning.
Got every bit of that. Right center field and deep. 422 feet, 110 off the bat on an 0-2 pitch.
Auburn leads 2-0. Went to the well one too many times, didn't he?
Sure did.
And here's Taylor Belza to bat for Auburn. First pitch, inside corner, strike one. Belza's hitting 100.
Yeah.
His one base hit, a homer.
1 for 10 with a home run.
That was inside, a ball and a strike to Belza. We saw Belza, play a key role in that Florida series when he had to come in when Fralick left the ball game to catch. Pitch. 1-1, jam shot, shortstop, deep in the hole. Fields and throws low to first, safe! An infield single for Taylor Belza.
Jam shot off the fist, opposite way. Kellner had to go deep, deep, deep in the hole at short and play an awkward bounce.
And then threw a one-hopper.
Yeah.
And a runner at first with nobody out for Auburn and Bristol Carter at the plate. I went out and watched Auburn practice yesterday. They practiced over at Homewood High School, and they spent a little time in the bullpen. Well, spent a little time in the cages bunting. And this may be an opportunity to take care of that right here. And we'll see the pitching coach out for Texas A&M, and already activity in the bullpen for the Aggies.
So the Auburn's DH position here at the Hoover Met this week at the SEC tournament is 2 for 3.
A right-hander starting to warm up for the Aggies. I'll see if I can get you a number. No guarantees.
Well, they just threw it on the screen,
they
too,
did?
and I missed it. Oh, I missed it. The DH at the game here against Samford was Eddie Madrigal. He was 3 for 4.
Including his first Auburn home run.
Yeah, so in this ballpark, Auburn's DH spot, whoever holds it, does a good job.
I don't think Auburn's ready to trade the DH role for playing here next weekend, do you?
No, you're right.
Okay.
No, got to figure it out at home.
Yeah, indeed. All right, here's Bristol Carter. Is he up there to bunt with Bells at first? Nobody out. A run already home for Auburn. Grahovac plays up at third. Stretched by Harden. Here's the pitch. And he throws to first instead, and Bristol showed bunt.
Yeah, he has 8 sacrifice bunts this year. So Auburn at times has struggled to bunt the ball, but he's been the most successful at it.
Bristol 0 for 3 Wednesday night. Stretching the pitch. Showed bunt, took a strike on the inside corner. He struck out trying to bunt in a rather key situation Wednesday night. And the first pitch, he tried to slash it.
Mm-hmm.
Couple homers, 25 runs batted in this season for Bristol. Belza gets his lead, throw over, and Belza is back.
Well, he beat out the infield single. They know about his speed.
Right,
so.
Of course. No balls and a strike to Bristol Carter. Belza gets his lead at first. Stretch and the pitch. Bristol swings and drives it into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Runners at first and second and nobody out.
Well, the chess match there. He showed bunt on the first pitch. He didn't show it on the second throw over to first base, and he wasn't bunting. They took the bunt off, and he responded again. Right-handers are hitting Darden really well.
Over
this
280
year.
this season.
No, it's a right-hander throwing. I still couldn't get the number on who it was. How about your 7, 8, and 9 hitters, though?
Yeah.
Homer, single, single.
There at first and second are Taylor Belza at second, Bristol Carter at first, and now the top of the order, And here's Rembert, and that's it for Darden.
Yep, one time through the order.
Yeah.
1 inning plus, and this Auburn crowd, I'm telling you.
They're ready.
The folks in Birmingham in the orange and blue and the folks who have come to Birmingham in the orange and blue are making some noise tonight.
Texas A&M makes a Pepper Tree pitching change for a new level of taste. Tiger fans know it's got to be Pepper Tree for the best wine selection, the finest cuts of meat. Visit Pepper Tree in Auburn or Montgomery and online at steaksandwine.com. Steaks, the letter N, wine.com. A&M goes to its bullpen. Gavin Lyons is on for A&M. Tigers first and second, nobody out. Top of the order coming up. Tigers lead at 1-0 as A&M makes a Pepper Tree pitching change.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Gavin Lyons is on for Texas A&M, a right-hander out of Guilford, Connecticut, 6'3", 200 pounds, redshirt sophomore right-hander. Lyons this year has started 3 games. He leads Texas A&M with 25 appearances. He's 9-0 with a 5.31 earned run average. Top bullpen arm for A&M, 59 in a third inning, 70 hits. 38 runs, 35 earned, 18 walks, 46 strikeouts. He's walked 10, struck out 14. He's given up 10 doubles and 14 homers. He's walked 18, struck out 46 in 59 and a third innings. He has also hit 8 batters, and teams are hitting .289 against Gavin Lyons. And of the relievers that have pitched the most for Texas A&M, that's the highest average against. The right-hander Lyons will face Rembert with runners at first and second and nobody out here in the second inning.
Second inning in that first game of the doubleheader at A&M, in which Alvarez went the distance to pick up the win. Auburn scored 6 times in the second inning that day. Now, it wasn't the only runs that Auburn scored on that day. It was a run rule win, but that second inning got Auburn off to the start.
Yeah.
Auburn has scored a run here in the top of the second. Still nobody out, runners at first and second, and here is Chris Rembert in his second at-bat in as many innings, but his first at-bat against Gavin Lyons.
Lyons pitched 4 innings against Auburn in Game 2 of that doubleheader. He gave up a couple of hits, and that was it.
He'll work from the stretch in the pitch, and Rembert bunts it, but foul behind the plate. Rembert 1 for 5 in the SEC tournament, struck out swinging against Ethan Darden in the first. 2-0 Auburn leads. First and second, nobody out. We're in the top of the second. Belza at second and Carter at first. Stretch. Again, Rembert shows bunt. Here's the pitch. Rembert bunts it back to the pitcher. His play is to first. In time, Rembert does his job and moves the runners along to second and third.
Well done. You got one of your most consistent hitters and a guy Auburn put in the leadoff spot so that, that's the guy you want to give the extra at bat. If the lineup turns over again, he's willing to give himself up, move the runners over. That's a team first at bat.
And here is Chase Fralick. Belza at third and Carter at second. Tigers on top 2-0. Lions come set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Up at 90, and Fralick was just underneath it. 0-1 to Chase.
A little bit of rise on that pitch. Looked like it had a little lift to it.
Lions come set. Stretch in the 0-1. Fralick drives it into the gap in left center field. Sorrell back there at the wall. He couldn't get it. 2 runs are going to score. Fralick's into second base with a double. 4-0 Auburn. 16th double of the year for Chase Fralick. Well, he missed the first pitch, Brady. He didn't miss the second.
No, he did not. He teed off on it And Sorrell went a long way, and I think he might have overrun the ball a little bit, just left of center. That's right down the middle.
Yeah, it is.
That's just right down Hoover Met Boulevard.
And Freilich hit it off the Georgia logo out there in left center. 4-0 Auburn. 1 out. And here's Bingaman. Stretching the pitch. He drops sidearm and misses outside for ball 1. Does Lyons.
I didn't remember the sidearm delivery from Lyons, but that's what Auburn has seen tonight from him. Another big second inning against A&M.
3 runs here in the second. May not be done. Pitch to Bingaman. He fouls it off, and it gets between the legs of the catcher and the umpire to the backstop.
Ethan started every bit of this,
Sure did.
I think, with his at-bat after back-to-back strikeouts to open the ball game. He fell behind 0-2, worked the count full, drew a walk.
Freilich gets his lead at second. A ball and a strike to Bingaman. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Missed outside.
And that pitch especially, he's got a really good eye for seeing the ball outside and staying off. Some guys struggle, especially from the right side, with those pitches away. He has not.
2-1 the count to Bingaman. The pitch on the way. Chopper, left side. It is just foul. Good idea by Grahovac to wait till it goes foul because he wasn't going to throw out Bingaman.
And that's alert by Ethan to start running immediately.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 3 home here in the second. Tigers lead 4-0. A runner at second, still just 1 out in the beginning. Leadoff homer by McCrane, an infield single to Belza. Carter with a single. Remember to sacrifice bunt, and Freilich doubled home the 2 runners. Chase down at second base, the pitch. Bingaman to the shortstop. Kellner fields and throws to first for the out. Freilich stays at second base. Good job by Lyons to get that one in on the hands. 2 outs, and here's Eric Guevara. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Freilich at second now with 2 down, and here's Guevara, who singled in the first. Stretch in the pitch. Eric takes the off-speed pitch in there for a low strike call. But it's a strike this weekend, friends. Stretch by Lyons. Here comes the pitch. Guevara in the right center field. That's down for a base hit. Freilich will clip the bag at third. He will score. Big turn for Guevara. 5-0 Auburn.
That at-bat by Guevara could be a signal of outstanding things to come in the postseason for Auburn. An 0-1 breaking ball. He waited on it, and then instead of trying to pull it, waited on it and took it the other way. When teams are not able to get a swing and miss from Guevara on breaking balls away, if he's making contact and going the opposite way, an already elite hitter becomes even more dangerous.
Here's Bub Terrell, whose base hits in 17 of his last 18 games, including an RBI single in the first. The pitch. Bub swings and misses, and he was trying to add to Auburn's run total by 2. 0-1 to DeMarion. Guevara down at first. He's 2 for 2 on the night. Already 7 hits in the game for Auburn. Tigers lead at 5-0. Here's the pitch. Bub swings and misses way out in front, 78. And it's quickly 0-2 to Terrell.
Did you give the note about his hitting streak? He's hit in 17 of the last 18 games.
Yes. He's behind 0-2 right here as Guevara gets his lead at first with 2 down. Stretch in the pitch. Bub spoils a pretty good pitch and fouls it out of play off the left side. And Bub gets a little stickum on his batting gloves. As the head coach would say, Bub plugged those batting gloves into the outlet before this game today.
They are bright, aren't
yes,
they?
Yes, they are. Count remains 0-2 to Terrell. 4 home here for Auburn in the second inning. Gavin Lyons in relief of Ethan Darden comes set. 0-2 pitch. Outside and high. Ball and 2 strikes now to Bub.
Eighth man to bat in the inning. Of the 4 hits, 5 hits, 3 of them have been opposite field hits.
Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2 to Terrell. And that base hit for Bub in the first, I said it was a single. It wasn't. It was a hustle double in the first inning. Now 2-2 to Terrell. Guevara with the lead at first. He's there with 2 outs. Lions come set. Here comes the pitch. Terrell swings and misses, and the inning is over. But Auburn scores 4 runs in the inning on 5 base hits. No errors and a man left. To the bottom of the second. Auburn at 5 and Texas A&M nothing. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
At Affordable Comfort Cooling Systems and Plumbing, we believe our work is more than just AC and plumbing repairs. It's about serving people with integrity and care. As a Christian-owned company, we take Colossians 3:23 to heart. Whatever you do, work at it all with your heart as working for the Lord, not for men. That's why at ACCS and Plumbing, we do the job right the first time and always stand behind our work. As a proud Ream dealer, we're committed to offering top-quality products and faith-driven values. Give us a call today or visit accsauburn.com to learn more. That's accsauburn.com.
Alabama license number 12084.
Life moves fast. Shouldn't your checking account keep up? Meet Explore Checking from Max Credit Union. No monthly fees, no minimum balance requirement. Enjoy perks like access to your paycheck up to 2 days early, earning rewards that can be turned into cash each time you spend with your Max debit card. Plus, with 24/7 digital banking and an easy-to-use mobile app, managing your money is quick and effortless. Start exploring today at mymax.com/explore. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
As A&M comes to the plate in the bottom of the second, Auburn leads at 5-0. The second inning, of course, presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you. 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the second against Andres Alvarez, who threw 22 pitches in the first, worked around a 1-out walk or 1-out single. Auburn got a run in the first and 4 more in the second. And Bear Harrison, the catcher for A&M, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Ben Royo, then Jorian Wilson. Got 2 of the best freshmen in the Southeastern Conference in this lineup, 1 for each. Jorian Wilson, outstanding right fielder for A&M, and Auburn first baseman Ethan Bingaman, who in SEC play was Auburn's leading hitter this year. That's all that Ethan did for the Tigers.
Probably was in the mix for SEC Freshman of the Year.
Bear Harrison will lead it off and takes the first pitch, curveball for a strike. Harrison, 303 the average, 11 homers and 33 runs batted in. Big right-handed hitter for the Aggies. Alvarez rocks and fires. Harrison out in front, off speed. 0-2 the count.
Back-to-back breaking balls. And first inning, he was struggling to land that breaking ball for a strike. Not so on the first 2 pitches of the second.
He's ahead of Harrison, 0-2. Wind and the pitch. Fastball bounced up there. Actually, I think that was the change that he spiked. A ball and 2 strikes. Harrison, Royo, and Wilson for the Aggies in the bottom of the second with Auburn on top 5-0.
You're always looking for a 1-2-3 inning, but a quick shutdown inning here, get the bats back to the plate would be huge.
1-2, fouled it off on a fastball at 96. He's been consistently 96, 97 with the heater here as Harrison leads off the second. Long look in. Pitch clock is down to 2. Here comes the 2-2. Ground ball left side foul past the third base coach's box.
I mean, they'll work the pitch count. They will foul off balls. Alvarez, 114 pitches in 7 innings against him in College Station. He was at 100 on the final out in the 6th.
2-2 the count to Bear Harrison. Alvarez, the wind of the pitch. Out in front, swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Alvarez. The K-Counter, presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one.
And every one of the strikes in that sequence that wasn't fouled off was on the slider. Got it far enough off the outside corner.
Well, if he's found his slider,
yep,
and he has his curveball, and we know he's got his fastball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's Ben Royo, the second baseman. Gaudy numbers. 520 with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Pitch on the way. Fastball just missed the outside corner.
Yeah, 13 for 25 with 3 homers. That's a .920 slugging percentage and a 1.437 OPS.
1-0. Changeup, strike. All right, that's a changeup for a strike.
Yeah.
Royo, 6'2", 200 pounds, a senior from Corpus Christi, Texas, and a transfer from Rice. 1-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. McCrane charges, fields, throws, 2 outs.
Got it off the end of the bat.
I think that was another changeup, Brad.
I do
86.
Too. Yep.
2 outs, and here's Jorian Wilson.
So what do we mean when we say take the sting out of the swing? You start your swing, but it's a changeup, so you have to slow it down. You don't have the full force behind it, and you hit it off the end of the bat, a routine grounder to short.
A bit of a shift for Auburn, although Brandon McCrane is on the left side of second base. Wilson bats with 2 outs and nobody on. Alvarez looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Curveball, strike.
Wilson, 6'4", 240.
He looks the part.
And a freshman.
And against Alvarez, hit a home run in that first game of the doubleheader. Ooh, just missed a fastball inside.
Ooh.
1-1 the count. Wilson's home run in College Station was to dead left.
Yeah. Trey wanted that strike call.
1-1. Gets that one. Swing and a miss.
Change up.
86. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Boy, how big would this be to get out of this inning? 1, 2, 3. He's a strike away from it. Alvarez wind and the pitch, and Wilson takes it far outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Showed him the fastball at 96.
Yeah, makes me think maybe the change is coming again.
Now the 2-2. Here it is. He got the change, and it was fouled out of play by Wilson.
On the
Wilson from Hallettsville, Texas.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
On the Yellowwood scoreboard, Arkansas beat Texas today 8-1.
Pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. That was a fastball. That was the fastball at 96 away. 4 strikeouts tonight for Andreas Alvarez. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. After a 4-run top of the second, Alvarez sets him down in order in the bottom. Tigers lead 5-0, and Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
You're listening to Auburn Baseball in the SEC Tournament.
We move to the top of the third, final quarterfinal game in the SEC Tournament. Auburn leads A&M 5-0. Brandon McCrane, Mason McCrane, and Taylor Belza to the plate here in the third inning. And, of course, the third inning is presented by the Vance Law Firm, where they say, dial 3 for me, 334-333-3333. A run in the first and 4 more in the second for the Tigers. Lyons gets his second inning of work. And he will get Brandon McCrane, who tapped back to the pitcher, ending Auburn's first inning. Brandon 1 for 4 in the SEC tournament with a run scored. Lyons the wind in the pitch. McCrane takes it down the middle for a strike. Ethan Darden lasted 1 inning for A&M and gave up 4 of the 5 runs. Pitch on the way. McCrane to the second baseman. Hit hard. He drops it, but Royo throws out McCrane at first base.
Good contact there. Auburn is getting good swings against Lyons. 2 hits last inning against him, and that ball was hit hard, but right at the second baseman.
And here's Mason McCrane. Mason and his brother Brandon played catch last night, pregame, with the SEC Network miking both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, before the LSU game.
Mason homered in his first at bat here tonight. Pitch to him, misses outside. Darden got to 0-2 to open the second against Mason McCrane, who then clobbered one over the right field wall to give Auburn a 2-0 lead. The pitch swings and misses. A ball and a strike. Did we ever get the distance on that HR?
414
feet. There you go. 1-1. Changeup. Must have been a little bit low because it had the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
And even for this strike zone, too low.
We have yet to see a challenge tonight. 2-1. McCrane takes it high and outside. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, Mason, as a true freshman, has played the majority of the year, has hit over 300, now half a dozen homers, spent the back half of league play as the leadoff hitter, hit 330 in that role.
3-1 down the middle for strike 2.
And when you talk to him, his focus is still, he's still trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
He's still got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's trying to prove that he can do it.
I don't think that will ever change.
No, I think you're right.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Mason. Strike call in the outside corner.
Yep.
Good pitch.
Yep, sure was.
2 down now. Auburn basketball and baseball, for that matter. Brought to you by Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. Wind Creek Casino, find your winning moment. 2 outs, and here's Taylor Belza, who doubled his hit total in his last at bat. Pitch on the way. Belza takes a strike. Fastball in there at 90. Belza with an infield single in the second, scored one of Auburn's 4 runs in that frame. 2 outs and nobody on here in the third. The pitch. Belza takes it low, 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on for Auburn. Tigers lead at 5-0. Wind and the pitch. Belza takes it outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Good take. Catcher evaluating the strike zone well and not trying to get too big here when given this opportunity.
2-1, swings and fouls it back into the stands, 2-2. I don't think you can overstate the work that he did at Florida coming on as Auburn's 3rd catcher on a day where Steele was the DH.
Yep.
And Freilich had to lead the game with an injury. Belza came on and stabilized. Pitch. Belza swings and lifts it out of play off the left side. That was a game that Auburn won. And then the Tigers won game 3 of that series. Tigers so many times winning the rubber game of so many series down the stretch of this season.
More often than not, the longer Auburn played on a weekend, the better the offense got.
2-2 to Belza. Pops it up. Left side of the infield. Kellner, the shortstop, underneath this one. Now on the outfield. Grass, and he dropped it. And Belza's at first base. You know, you look at the flags, there's not a lot of wind, but that ball moved on Kellner. And Belza's aboard.
That ball was hit about twice as high up in the air as the flags. It was skied. And Belza's wishing he had run it out to second base. He stopped about halfway.
Yeah. I'm not sure he even got a glove on that one. We're waiting for the ruling.
Yeah. If he did, it was a glancing.
Here's Bristol Carter, the pitch. Bristol takes it on the outside corner for strike one.
Just a glancing pass at the glove.
It is an error. Bell's first, the pitch. Bristol swings and fouls it back, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Carter singled and scored in the Auburn second. Boy, would love to see Rembert up here with 2 outs in this third inning. Tigers lead 5-0. Bell's a good lead at first. Lions come set. Here's the 0-2. Bristol pops it up, foul right side.
He challenged Bristol 0-2 with a fastball there. Thought he could get that one by him.
Two outs, a runner at first for Auburn. 0-2 the count to Bristol. Carter stretching the pitch. Inside, a ball and 2 strikes to Bristol. Bell's out to his lead. Lions come set above the belt. 1-2 pitch. Carter takes strike 3 on the outside corner. Couple strikeouts in the inning for Lions. First time that Auburn has been retired without a run. No runs, no hits in air, and a man left for Auburn. We go to the bottom of the third. Tigers lead 5-0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Director of the Outlive campaign, Jackie Pearl.
Last season, we were able to give $350,000 to 12 different cancer support organizations across the state. And I would love to see that grow because there are so many organizations across the state doing so much. But it's a testament to the support that the Auburn family has given both the basketball program in the last decade and the fact that we know cancer touches everyone.
Absolutely.
There's not a person that I know that doesn't have somebody that they know that has not been impacted by cancer. And so it's something everybody can relate to. Sport is a place that brings everybody together. And so in a way, it does kind of go hand in hand.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
Eight, 9, and 1 hitters for Texas A&M in the bottom of the third. Tigers lead 5-0. Andres Alvarez threw 15 pitches in the second. He's at 37 for the game. He'll get Bender up, Kellner, and then the top of the order in Gavin Grahovac. Alvarez now 3 strikeouts shy of 100 this season. He and Jake Marciano, who is at exactly 100 strikeouts after that outing Wednesday night, are the 5th pair of teammates in program history to reach the milestone, but the first for Auburn since 1999.
Wow. Needs 3 more to do it.
Yes. Blake Bender up, the first baseman, will lead it off for A&M, batting .317, 9 homers, 30 runs batted in. There's really nowhere to relax in this A&M lineup. Pitch on the way from Alvarez between the legs of Freilich and back to the backstop. 1-0 the count. Bender up 6-6, 230 from College Station. 1-0. Missed up and in a little bit. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-0, Tigers lead it. A&M bats here in the bottom of the third. The 2 to Bender up. Right down the middle, fastball at 95.
Nico Partita was their everyday third baseman, and he had an injury on a ground ball that went through his legs. He did the splits. He came out of the game. Grahovac went from first to third. Bender up to first.
2-1 to Bender up. Ooh, just a little bit low. And that was low. 3 balls and a strike.
That was in our series there 3 weeks ago. And since then, Bender up has played first base more often than not.
He gets ready for a 3-1. Here it is. It's ball 4 outside. First walk surrendered tonight by Alvarez, and it brings the number 9 hitter, Boston Kellner, the shortstop, to the plate. Hitting .245 on the year, but he has 5 homers and 29 runs batted in. He is wearing a mask. I'm not trying to make light of it, but it kind of looks like a lighter version of the Lone Ranger mask after being hit in the face recently. When he is in the field, pitch on the way. Fastball that missed the outside corner.
They've had 2 guys get hit in the face with pitches this year.
Recently?
Yeah, the second half of the season.
A ball and no strikes to Kellner. Bender up, gets a lead at first. He has a couple stolen bases this year. Stretch in the pitch. Ball 2 outside.
And this is a well-timed visit by Chase Fralick out to the mound to talk to Alvarez. Drake cruised right through the second inning. Retired 4 in a row with 3 strikeouts going back to the first, but then walked Bender up, fall behind Kellner, nibbling a little bit with the 8 and 9 hitters. Andy, on the Yellowwood scoreboard Big Ten tournament in Omaha, Purdue leads number 1 ranked UCLA 3-1 in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, the Big Ten is playing where everybody wants to be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In Omaha, Nebraska.
Louisiana leads Coastal Carolina 5-2 in the Sun Belt tournament. So it was raining in Montgomery. So the Sun Belt said, we'll just go to Troy and we'll play at Riddle Pace Field.
2-0. Down the middle, 94 on the strike. Well, that's a turf field.
It is, yep. Louisiana and Coastal, so we'll just pack up and drive a little bit and go play there instead.
Sure, Barry McKnight loves that.
Sure.
2 balls and a strike to Kellner. Bender up at first. Stretch in the pitch. Kellner fouls it off. Back-to-back fastballs for strikes.
Sorry, Andy. Also on the Yellowwood scoreboard, A-Sun tournament, DeLand, Florida. North Alabama leads Lipscomb 3-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th there.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Boston Kellner. Bender up at first, a leadoff walk. Bottom of the 3rd, Auburn leads 5-0. The pitch. Left it up. Auburn will challenge this one.
Ooh.
I don't know if they're going to get this one or not.
It's pretty high up.
Yeah.
It's up there, Chase.
Auburn lost on every one of these challenges Wednesday night.
Yeah.
For or against. He didn't miss it by much.
No.
But enough.
1.5 inches.
Yeah. Count goes full. Top of the order, and Grahovac waits on deck. Alvarez gets his sign, checks the runner at first, and comes set. 3-2 pitch. Fastball fouled over the top of the Auburn dugout.
All right, more on the Yellowwood scoreboard. Samford beat Western Carolina in the SoCon tournament 5-1 today. Jacksonville State outslugged Western Kentucky 12-11 in the Conference USA tournament in Kennesaw.
3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Alvarez comes set. Here's the pitch to Kellner. Fouled back here.
Couple of other from the Yellowwood scoreboard. Been a good day for in-state teams. UAB beat Rice 9-6 in the American tournament down in Clearwater, Florida. Alabama State got by Arkansas Pine Bluff in the SWAC tournament in Birmingham 8-7. So in-state teams getting it done.
Full count again to Kellner. Bender up at first. Here's the pitch. Oh, just missed the outside corner. Wow. Back-to-back walks to lead off the second or the third.
To the 8 and 9 hitters to set the table for their home run and RBI leaders. That's less than ideal.
And here is Grahovac. Struck out in the first. He bats with runners at first and second, and nobody out in the third with back-to-back walks to Bender up and Kellner. Stretch in the pitch. Grahovac fouled it. Woo. Back here and off to our right. 0-1 to the first team all SEC infielder. 19 homers, 71 runs batted in. Has tapped into 2 double plays this season. Stretch and pitch off the end of the bat foul. 0-2 the count.
I think if he gets a fastball, you might try to get it to the inside corner. Otherwise, might see all off speed here now that he's ahead 0-2. Alvarez.
Bender up gets his lead at second. Kellner from first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grahovac fouled it back here. Over the grandstand and out of play. Nothing but fastballs so far to Grahovac. He threw every one of his pitches, every one in his arsenal for strikes in the second. He has walked the first two batters here in the third. He's ahead of Grahovac 0-2. Stretch in the pitch. Bounces away from Frelick, and the runners will move up to second and third. A wild pitch. Now a ball and 2 strikes to Grahovac.
Especially frustrating when they've done it all without a hit. 2 walks and a wild pitch, and they got 2 in scoring position. I mean, it's a team that can score runs. You got 5, and Auburn's not comfortable with a 5-run lead. They know that. Certainly no time to be comfortable very early in this game.
1-2 to Grahovac. Second and third now with nobody out in the third inning. Stretch in the pitch. Out in front, changeup or the curveball. Strike 3. 5th strikeout of the night for Alvarez. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1.
How good is that breaking ball? Grahovac, an excellent hitter, and he was frustrated with himself. He looked back at Alvarez, knew he shouldn't go after a really well-placed slider off the plate.
Here's Caden Sorrell. Reached on a single back in the first. He bats with runners at second and third in the third. The pitch to him. Inside, blocked nicely by Frelick. 1-0 the count. Sorrell batting .346, team leading 23 homers and 74 runs batted in.
Trying to keep it down against him, sure, and that means Frelick's got to be on alert.
1-0. Chopper foul. That was the change at 86. A ball and a strike to Sorrell. Walks to Bender up and Kellner. They went to second and third on a wild pitch. A ball and a strike to Caden Sorrell. Left-handed hitter sets up deep in the box. The 1-1 pitch. Popped it up, foul. That'll get out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. He fell behind Sorrell 2-0 in the first, and Sorrell then went the opposite way for a single. He's now ahead of Sorrell, a ball and 2 strikes. So what does he get here in the third? Alvarez off the full wind and the pitch on the way. Just got a piece of the off-speed pitch. That was the full curve.
And he started it about at the knees.
Count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Caden Sorrell. Two on, 1 out. Wind and the pitch from Alvarez. Here it is. Sorrell goes after a high fastball and comes up empty. The high, hard cheese at 96, 2 outs.
And in a little bit, too. Just tough to catch. Back-to-back strikeouts to their top 2 power hitters.
Whew. 2 outs. And here's Chris Hakopian, the DH.
Yeah, that's the kind of cheese they put out at the fancy dinner parties.
Smoked Gouda. 2 on, 2 outs now for A&M. Pitch to Hakopian. Missed the outside corner with the slider. A ball and no strikes. Hakopian reached on a fielder's choice. Hit to the shortstop McCrane in the first inning. Here's the wind and the 1-0. Strike. Curveball that was left up a bit, but in there for a strike with Hakopian taking.
99 strikeouts on the season for Alvarez.
2 outs, 2 on for A&M. Wind to the pitch. Just missed the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. The left fielder Dewar on deck for Texas A&M. Tigers lead 5-0. 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the third. Alvarez, the wind and the pitch. Missed outside again. Count goes to 3-1.
Dre shook off a couple of signs to get that. He's really trying to land that slider on the outside corner or get the chase from Hakopian, but he's not getting it.
Now 3-1 to Chris Hakopian. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. It's a full wind for Alvarez. The pitch. Fastball, strike 2. 97.
Well,
he walked the first 2 batters. Threw a wild pitch there at second and third. He struck out Grahovac. He struck out Sorrell.
You just go power on power here.
3-2 the count to Hakopian. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball lined into right. Long run. McCrane is there. Inning over. Nice work by Alvarez, who pumps his fist coming off the hill. After back-to-back walks and runners at second and third with no one out, he gets out of the inning unscathed. We're through 3 in Hoover. Auburn 5, Texas A&M nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
BritBox has the best of British TV, period.
Let's get started.
The best mystery, period.
I like a good detective story.
The best romance, period.
This is the book that will open the heart, Miss Mary Bennett.
The best drama, period.
Welcome to the grown-up world.
Stream the best British period dramas, including The Lady, inspired by a true story of murder and scandal, and from the world of Jane Austen, the other Bennett sister, only on BritBox. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Alan Jackson is way down yonder on the Chattahoochee as Auburn comes to the plate in the 4th, top of the order. Tigers lead 5-0. Time now for Bradford T. Law.
I understand the climate there is quite tropical.
Yes, indeed.
Rembert, Freilich, and Bingaman, the first 3 for Auburn here in the 4th. Tigers on top 5-0. Andreas Alvarez gave up a couple of walks and a wild pitch. A&M had runners second and third and nobody out. He struck out the first 2 hitters and got a fly ball to get out of the inning. Just a really gutsy performance from Auburn's sophomore right-hander. Now the bat's back at it. Rembert, a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout. He goes after the first pitch, fouls it straight back, 0-1. Lyons starting his 3rd inning of relief. Gavin Lyons, 37 pitches. Off the right side of the rubber. Righty-righty to Rembert, pitch. Outside and low, 1-1. Rembert's average at 345. The pitch home. High chopper to third, charging Grahovac, fielding, throwing, low but out. Rembert is retired for the first out of the 4th. And Chase Freilich to the plate. Freilich, a 2-run double in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2. He homered here Wednesday night. 2 for 6 here at the Hoover Met for the sophomore catcher, who is still looking for his first ABS Challenge win of the year, of the tournament. Same thing. Pitch. Inside, off the mid, all the way to the backstop. 0-1. Auburn is looking for its 2nd win in the SEC tournament. It would be the first time since 2018 that happened. Freilich takes a curveball in for a strike. It's 0-2. Lyons ahead and works quickly the delivery. Missed outside, 1-2. With nobody on base, Lyons works in a hurry. Freilich steps in there. Lyons has a toe hold on the rubber, goes to work the pitch. Swing and a pop. Back behind the plate, well out of play. That will get into the seats. the blue chairback seats, or the gray chairback seats down there. A predominantly Auburn crowd. There's a smattering of a few other colors, but just a whole lot of orange and blue. Pitch to Freilich. Called, strike 3. Delayed strike call by Javero January. Lions strikes out Freilich. So 2 up, 2 down in the 4th, and Ethan Bingaman comes to the plate. 5-0 Tigers. Auburn is out hit Texas A&M 7-1. Bingaman is walked and grounded out. First pitch slider caught the outside corner for strike 1. Lions did a good job against Auburn in College Station. Swing yanked, foul down the left field line. Bingaman missed a double on a hanging changeup by just a few feet. And quickly, really quickly, it's 0-2 with 2 outs to the freshman first baseman. Right side of the rubber, Lions deals. Little tapper foul to the left. A&M, what's on the line? Auburn should comfortably be a national seed. Seeds are, well, the host sites are announced Sunday. Full field is announced Monday. Pitch to Bingaman. Strike 3. Throw him a breaking ball down the middle. And Lions makes quick work of the Tigers in the 4th, including 2 strikeouts. 3 up, 3 down. Goes Auburn in the 4th. 5-1, Auburn in front. 5-0 Auburn in front, rather, as we go to the bottom of the 4th. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just non-stop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Auburn 5, Texas A&M nothing. Bottom of the 4th coming up here from the Hoover Met. Whether you are planting a tree or tackling a backyard project, a lot of those coming up here as we get into the summer. Kids out of school, and good time to be outside getting the work done. Contact Alabama 811 before you dig and get your underground utilities marked for free. There's a website and a phone number. Website al811.com, or you could just call 811. It's free, it's simple. Most importantly, it's the law.
We had some work done to our front yard, and they came out and found all of our utilities.
Spray paint those lines?
Yep, sure did.
Very good. You don't want to start a project and hit one of those.
No, thank you.
That's an error. 5-0 Auburn. Alvarez goes to work. First pitch misses low to Jake Dewar, cleanup hitter, left fielder. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pardon me, Brad. The next strikeout for Alvarez, the 100th this season for the sophomore right-hander. He's got half a dozen tonight. 1-0 pitch to Dewar. Missed outside. 2-0. Alvarez walked the 8 and 9 hitters in the 3rd, then went strikeout, strikeout, fly out to get out of it. Dewar, one of those 6 strikeouts to end the 1st. Here's the pitch to him. There's a strike over the outside corner. Took a little something off that at 92.
Isn't that amazing? Took something off at 92.
He's been 96, 97 a good bit tonight with a fastball. Alvarez a long look in, pitch clock at 5. Here's the delivery. Off speed for a strike. Throw him a changeup. 2-2. Dewar with a half a dozen homers. Alvarez looks home, gets his sign, nods yes. Here's the 2-2. Fouled up the left side. We'll do it again.
96 and a little bit up. And Dewar just slapped it out of play.
Alvarez ready to go. 2-2. Curve, slap toward left. Down the line, long run Terrell. It falls. Foul.
Woo. Woo.
Foul by inches, not feet.
David Savage made the call. He had some help from Bub.
Yes, he did. Savage straddled the line, looking right at it. How much did that miss by? Oh.
4.5 inches.
If that. Boy, that was close.
Talking about the outside of the baseball.
Okay, yeah. Whew. So it's nothing. It's a foul ball. The count remains 2-2.
Well, if he could find the curveball right here.
Yeah. Alvarez plants and fires. Lifted foul. 2-strike swing there by Dewar. Broke out the pitching wedge and put it in the seats left side. Still 2-2. The delivery. Called strike. 3 at the knees. Strikeout number 7 for Alvarez in the game. Number 100 on the season for Andreas Alvarez.
Oh, that's a really good pitch. Down and away and 96.
Yeah.
To get Dewar looking for the second time tonight. Boy, that's a really good pitch. My goodness.
Here's Harrison, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Wind and the delivery. Off the edge, 1-0. Right-handed hitting catcher, 11 home runs. Harrison had a good series against Auburn 3 weeks ago. Fastball here. Ooh. A little too low. 2 balls, no strikes. How low can you go with this ABS strike zone? That was too low. The 2-0 from Alvarez.
Boy, where was that?
Called a ball, and Frelick wants to challenge it. He dropped the ball. Maybe that's why Javero January didn't call it a strike. Here's Frelick with the review. The challenge. Is this the first Auburn challenge win?
No.
Oh! My goodness. What'd that miss by? Point.
Goodness.
Took it off the screen. Less than an inch. I mean, it was right there. 3-0.
Chase is wondering, when am I going to get one of these?
Pitch. There's a strike down the middle. It's 3-1.
Auburn has missed on every one, for or against them.
Chase hadn't had a slump at the plate near what he's had in ABS challenges this week. 3-1. Harrison fouls it straight back, and the count is full. And Alvarez just swings that pendulum back the other way. He fell behind 3-0, and now he's filled up the count. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Auburn leads 5-0. Winner of this game gets Arkansas tomorrow.
L.J. Cormier in the pen for Auburn.
Payoff pitch. Miss low. And Alvarez has walked his 3rd of the game. 1 out, free pass to Harrison. Now here's Ben Royo. Royo, a senior.
I think Frelick just got himself a new glove.
Okay.
I think he tossed the other one out. And as he goes back to the plate, Everett Tieper goes to the mound to talk it over with Alvarez.
Pitch count up to 80. He had back-to-back starts of 100 pitches or more, Oklahoma and Texas A&M.
Yeah, I don't think pitch count's the
Nope.
concern right here. But it's the second time through the order. A 3-2 walk there to Harrison. And you've got a guy that's hitting over 500, or right at 500 this season, with some power at the plate.
Yeah.
You just don't want to give up any momentum in this game right now.
Yeah.
Because the top of the fifth is coming up for Auburn.
Got L.J. Cormier loosening. And ideally, you go to him in the sixth. You get Alvarez through 5.
Yeah, now that may sound a little bit greedy at this point.
Yeah.
But Alvarez can do that.
Yes, he can. We thought he was finished after 6 at 100 pitches in College Station, and he came out and worked the 7th.
And a complete game, or a CG.
Yeah, that's right. 14 more pitches to end the game. A CG. Here's the pitch to Royo. Line, Guevara on a hop, knocks it down, goes to second for 1, on to first, not in time. The bobble cost Guevara. It was hit like a rocket to him. Guevara had the presence of mind, though, to pick it up after it hit the ground. No more bobbles after that. Went to second for the force.
May have cost him the double play, but you get the lead man at second base. That ball was hit on a hop to Eric, and also credit for him for keeping the ball in front of him where he could get it.
Right.
Moving a little bit to his left, reached down with the bare hand and easily got Harrison at second.
It's a couple times tonight. Ball hit out to third, and Auburn has gotten the lead runner. Jorian Wilson. Throw to first, close.
Royo,
real close.
Royo in limited action does not have a stolen base attempt this season.
This is his 11th game in which he's appeared. Wilson struck out in the second. Alvarez, pretty good job against him. Got him to chase away and high. Worked out, in, and then up to the freshman right fielder. Play him to pull on the infield, not the shift, but they're shaded over that way. Throw to first again. Tag applied, runner back.
Auburn has 5 pickoffs this season. Alvarez has 1 of them. Fralick, Sanders, Marciano, Alvarez, and Graves. 1 apiece.
A bad spot for Royo to get picked off over there for the 3rd out of the inning. Pitch. Strike. Outside corner to Wilson. 0-1. That's at 93. He hasn't lost the velocity on the fastball because he still ran one up there at 96 earlier this inning. Here's the 0-1. Floats a change up and away, a ball and a strike. Texas A&M won its last series, taking 2 of 3 against Mississippi State to earn the 3 seed this week. They're the last team to play their first game in the tournament. Pitch, fouled straight back. And now the count in Dre's favor, a ball and 2 strikes. Royo at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Auburn on top 5-0. Alvarez has given up just 1 hit tonight. 3 walks, 1 hit, no runs. From the stretch, Alvarez to the plate, runner goes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. Alvarez, 2 more strikeouts in the 4th inning. 8 in the game. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1. We are through 4 in Hoover. Auburn 5, Texas A&M nothing. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
Auburn leads Texas A&M 5-0, a run in the first and 4 in the second. And now it's time for the fifth. The fifth inning is presented by Southern Union, and oh, have they gotten their money's worth out of this sponsorship this year. Move seamlessly to Auburn to complete a bachelor's degree in selected programs by taking courses at Southern Union and Auburn concurrently at Southern Union's tuition rates. Let Southern Union put you on a path to the Plains. It will be Guevara, Terrell, and Brandon McCrane. Middle third of the order due up here against Gavin Lyons, who has thrown 48 pitches for the Aggies. He has given up a run on 2 hits.
He's done a nice job to stabilize things.
Yeah, Darden got the start, and Auburn was on him. After the first 2 batters of the game struck out, they got to him. And now Guevara leads it off in the fifth. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Guevara 2 for 2. 2 singles and an RBI for the junior third baseman. The pitch way outside.
Activity in the pen right now for A&M. I'm trying to get a number.
Yeah, Lyons got to be close to the end of his line. Guevara swings, grounds one to third. Short hop by Grahovac. He picks it, throws to first for the out. Well played by Grahovac over at third. And there's the first out in the fifth. Auburn's only had the leadoff man on base once. That was Mason McCrane, who homered to start the second.
That may be position players that are warming up in the pen right now for A&M.
Here's Bub Terrell, an RBI double, a hustle double in the first, a strikeout in the second. See if he goes after the first pitch. He has in his first 2 at-bats. And he lays off this one outside here, 1-0.
Dropped down sidearm on that pitch, and it just leaked on him.
Yeah, Lyons doesn't do that with every pitch, but occasionally he does. Off the wind, the delivery, another sidearm, and that is flied to center. Sorrell is there, backs up, squares up, reaches up, makes the catch, 2 down.
6
Lyons,
in a row set down by Lyons.
Beat me to it. Yeah, the only base runner since the second inning was the pop-up that Kellner dropped at short. Here's Brandon McCrane. And Gabe Gross is going to try to slow the rhythm of Lyons here a little bit and have McCrane step out, go talk to Brandon. Redshirt freshman's hit it on the ground twice tonight. He's matched back to the pitcher. And then hit it hard, but right at the second baseman his last time up. It gives the crowd a chance to hear a little more My Girl. Auburn leads 5-0, 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For Texas A&M, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Each team is stranded 4. Now McCrane steps in, Lyons first pitch to him. Back up the middle on the ground. Second baseman gets there, though, behind the bag and throws to first. Well played by Royo. They had him shaded up the middle. Ball bounced directly behind the bag at second, and Royo got there. That's a quick inning for Lyons. 1-2-3 go the Tigers for a second straight frame. And now we're halfway home at the Hoover Met. Auburn 5, Texas A&M nothing. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our dedicated party space. Baumhauer's Victory Grill Catering. Legendary flavors, zero hassle. War Eagle.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Cook's Pest Control. The best defense for your home is Cook's Pest Control, the South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, and the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers.
5-0 Auburn, early offense, all 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Now we go to the bottom of the 5th. A&M sends up Benderup, Kellner, and Grahovac, 8-9-1 against Andreas Alvarez. Before Benderup bats, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Andreas Alvarez at 85 pitches. Benderup walked in the 3rd. Winner of this game gets Arkansas tomorrow in the 2nd game of the day. Georgia and Florida play at noon Central. Arkansas and the winner of this game will play 30 minutes after that game is over. First pitch to Benderup. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Benderup at 6'6". I know what we talked about with Mason McCrane when he was hitting leadoff. That's, as a pitcher, that's the first thing you see when you start the ball game. A guy that takes up the zone. Alvarez gets the outside corner with that fastball. Evens the count at 1-1.
Cormier warming up again for Auburn.
Wind in the 1-1 to Benderup. Strike right through there. 94. And it's 1-2. So that second semifinal game would start around 3:30. Would be our guess. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip of the slider. Wicked late movement on the slider. And only because Benderup is 6'6" was he able to reach out and extend and get a piece of it. A ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out in the 6th, or in the 5th rather. Pitch home. Pass ball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Alvarez with another punch out. Man. Alvarez with 9 strikeouts. He struck out 11 or 12 against them the first time this year. He has had a good time against the Aggies.
11 the first time around.
So 20 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings against Texas A&M. First pitch, strike 1.
He's had double-digit strikeouts against Georgia Tech at home, against Arkansas at home, and at Texas A&M with 11. Those double-digit strikeouts, 10 apiece against Tech and Arkansas.
He's 1 away from it again here tonight. Pitch, off speed, outside corner, strike 2. Well, dealer's choice here for Alvarez. 0-2 to Kellner, a guy he walked last time up. Alvarez off the wide. Here's the pitch. Fouled away off the end of the bat.
That was the change.
.93 pitches. Alvarez just been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch a lot of Auburn pitchers this year. Delivery. Too far outside, a ball and 2 strikes.
It was fun to watch Marciano on Wednesday night just carve up LSU.
He was as good Wednesday as he's been in a month, probably.
Yes.
Alvarez looks, gets his sign, nods yes. 1-2 pitch. Kellner takes it high, 2-2.
And then Jackson Sanders came in and he did his work. And, you know, a guy that gave up a starting spot when they moved Alvarez to the weekend. Jackson's so good in a relief role, he was named second team All-SEC.
He's factored, since moving to the bullpen, either a win or a save in all but 1 appearance. Pitch. Outside, 3-2. Kellner did not offer.
And then the games, sometimes that have counted as much as anything, the rubber games, you just turned it over against the big guy.
Yeah.
And Petrovic has just been so good.
You got iron sharpening iron, and it's a really good example in the pitching staff.
Right.
Payoff pitch to Kellner.
Oh.
Just missed off the outside corner. I think Fralick thought about challenging, but he didn't. So Kellner walks for the second time. Fourth walk of the night for Alvarez. Don't see that very often. He's only given up one hit.
Well, 3 of the 4 walks have been to the bottom 2 in the order.
Now Grahovac is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Alvarez will try to get him a third time. If you could get through the 5th, you feel really good about giving it to Cormier in the 6th. Alvarez 3 pitches away from 100. First offering, Grahovac, ground ball to short. McCrane gloves, rolls up his arm, goes to second for 1, on to first, double play.
Just the 3rd time he's hit into a double play this season.
6-4-3. The ball tried to ski ball up McCrane's arm, but he got the hand on it and threw it to Rembert for the force and then on to first for the double play.
Well, he found the middle circle then, didn't he?
He got the bingo, the bullseye.
He did.
Yeah, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. That walk immediately erased. No runs, hits, errors, and nobody left. We're through 5. Still 5-0 Auburn, and this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Massive international soccer is coming to Auburn for the first time. 2 proud nations, 1 global game. Argentina versus Iceland. Tuesday, June 9th at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Incredible elite competition and world-class talent coming to Auburn. Road to 26. Argentina versus Iceland. June 9th. Get tickets at aubtix.com or roadto26.com.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents Visa debit card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Pepper Tree pitching change. It's still a Pepper Tree pitching change for Texas A&M that go to number 38, Shane Sadeo. Redshirt junior left-hander, 6'2", 170, from Montgomery, Texas, and Lake Creek High School. Sadeo has been used primarily as a starter this year for A&M. This will be his 15th appearance, just his 3rd in relief. 4-4 with a 6.68 ERA. 66 innings, 51 runs, 49 earned on 85 hits. He struck out 75, which is the most on the staff, and 18 walks. He has given up 14 homers, and opponents are hitting .306 against Shane Sadeo, who comes on to take over for Lyons, who did a nice job for A&M. Lyons on the night, the second pitcher of the night for Texas A&M, went 4 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, struck out 5. Settled things down for the Aggies.
Yeah, he kind of did against Auburn tonight what he did against Auburn in College Station. He was good in 4 innings of relief work then. Only gave up a couple of hits then. Auburn at least got a run off of him here tonight. Sadeo goes to work against McCrane, and the first pitch misses low. If Auburn can do against Sadeo tonight what it did against him in College Station, we'll be flirting with getting out of here early. Auburn got 6 runs on Sadeo in an inning. He started the opener of that doubleheader. 1-0 pitch misses downstairs, 2-0. By far his shortest start of the year. 6 runs, 4 hits, and 2 walks in 1 inning of work. 44 pitches, and Auburn got 6 hits off of it, or 4 hits. Pitch fouled straight back. It's 2-1. McCrane is homered and struck out. Home run in the second, his 6th of the year. McCrane, Belza, and Carter, bottom third of the order. Sadeo delivers and misses a little bit low, and they'll appeal. I think they'll win the appeal.
Well, history would indicate that this weekend.
Yeah, sure would. ABS challenge for Bear Harrison, the catcher. Rules, it is a strike by about the length of the width of the baseball. I mean,
goodness.
Yeah. 2-2. Big difference in counts. Here's the 2-2 from Sadeo. Fouled back.
He was trying to go the opposite way up past the shift. The shift is on the right side right now.
2-2 the count. McCrane's home run came with 2 strikes. That was on an 0-2 pitch in the second. 2-2 from Sadeo. Called strike 3.
Good pitch.
1 away. Auburn's last hit was the second inning. This game resembles a little bit the second game of that doubleheader. Auburn had early offense, and then A&M settled in on the mound and kept the Tigers off the scoreboard for about the back half of that ball game. Tigers still won the series. Here's Taylor Belza. He has singled and reached on an error. Pitch to him. A little bit low. Maybe a little out. 1-0 to the DH, who's now 2 for 12. Raised his average 67 points. Swings and misses. It's 1-1.
Most importantly, he's been on base twice tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he reached back. In fact, he's the last Auburn hitter to reach in the third inning. He hit a sky-high pop to short that Kellner couldn't catch. Pitch is low, and it's 2-1. Just the second start of the year for Belza. Pitch home. Outside and low. Now hitters count. Gabe Gross gives his instructions to Belza from the dugout. Lefty, lefty. Sadeo throws and gets a strike. 3-2. Sadeo, the third pitcher of the game for Texas A&M. Darden started it. Auburn knocked him out after an inning plus. Now the 3-2 pitch. Fouled away, left side by Belza.
Came up and in, and Belza fought it off. Nice job.
Crowd is big here. If Auburn wins this game and faces Arkansas tomorrow, that'll be another massive, rowdy type of crowd. Payoff pitch. Chopped foul past first.
Yeah, the Arkansas folks travel to Birmingham.
Arkansas and Auburn, probably the 2 biggest fan bases left here.
That Georgia-Florida game has the makings. Those 2 games tomorrow have the makings to.
Boy,
you know, Saturday crowds have been among the very biggest ever at the SEC tournament.
Another 3-2. Belza taps it foul, gets a piece. Good job. And the way Florida played yesterday, man, they put the boots to Alabama.
Yes, they did. Georgia won against Mississippi State, doing what Georgia does.
Yeah, hitting 3-run home runs.
Yeah.
Another 3-2. Belza flies it to center. Back goes Sorrell. Near the track. Straightens up, makes the catch. 2 down. 9 in a row retired by A&M pitching. And here's Bristol Carter. He singled and scored in the second. Struck out in the third. Right-handed hitting center fielder. First pitch to him. Swung on, foul tipped, 0-1. Who do you have on the Talking Tigers podcast Monday?
Harding Harper III, the executive director of recruiting for Auburn football.
Nice. 0-1 pitch. Outside, a ball and a strike to Carter.
Birmingham native, played his high school football at Carver and Montgomery. A linebacker at Vanderbilt.
Okay. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carter. Auburn leads 5-0. Top of the 6th. Carter shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes it low, 2-1. Conecuh Sausage is the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh's a game day favorite, always great on the grill. Pick up a pack at your local grocery store or visit the Conecuh gift shop, Evergreen, Alabama, off I-65 at exit 96. There's a drive. Left center field. That's down. That gets all the way to the wall. Carter headed for second. Takes a huge turn. Slips and falls coming around second and then dives back in. It's a 2-out double for Bristol Carter.
Well, that has been the spot for Bristol tonight. Finding the gap out in left center field for Bristol Carter, his 7th double of the year. He singled out there in the first or the second inning and finds the gap to the wall. And he thought about third base and had to put on the brakes and then dive back into second.
A 2-1 pitch that was left up and over the outer half of the plate. That's on a platter for Bristol. And there's a line drive up the right side by Rembert. That is down. Headed for the corner. Carter rounds third. He'll score. Rembert heads for second. It's an RBI double for Chris Rembert. Put another on the board for the Tigers. 6-0. 13th double of the year for Chris Rembert. He went after the first pitch.
Yeah, that's the key. He went after the first pitch, and it did exactly what he wanted to do. Took it up the first base, the right field line.
So
more 2-out magic for this Auburn ball club.
And 9 in a row had been retired, and then all of a sudden on back-to-back pitches, Auburn goes Jeni Broom, double-double.
I like that.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Now here's Chase Fralick. He doubled in 2 in the second. Tigers lead 6-0. Fralick takes a high strike. It's 0-1. Fralick 1 for 3, the double, couple of strikeouts, and now Chase is going to spray the bat. A little more stick 'em. Now he readies, and the 0-1 pitch from Sadeo. Upstairs, taken for ball 1. Sadeo struck out McCrane, got Belza to fly to deep center. And Carter doubled to left center, and Rembert doubled to right. Chris at second with 2 down, big hole at short. Pitch to Fralick off speed and in there for strike 2.
Good pitch, sweeping to the outside corner. All right, now Fralick has seen it. I think he goes opposite. I think he goes oppo here. Big hole left side of the infield.
Yeah, they're giving that to him. Here's the 1-2. Swing. He tried to go the other way. Fouled it up the left side.
Well, that's where they put it, too, on the outside corner.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised they don't come a little more inside with the infield shifted the way it is right now. Fralick as good as anybody Auburn has going the opposite way.
Outfield straight away, 2 outs, a run in for Auburn. It's 6-0. Here's the pitch. Little chopper toward third. Grohovac charges, fields on the grass, and throws on to first to get the out. And the inning is over, but Auburn adds a run on 2 hits, both doubles. 2 more extra base hits in the game for the Tigers. No errors and a runner stranded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Now Auburn 6, Texas A&M nothing. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
As Auburn goes to defense in the bottom of the 6th, the Tigers make a golden plate call to the bullpen. And Auburn goes to L.J. Cormier, freshman right-hander, 6'1", 173 from Tuscaloosa, Sipsey High School. Cormier 1-0 on this year. with a 2.29 earned run average, making his 18th relief appearance and a save. 35 in the third innings, 11 runs, 9 earned on 27 hits. 45 strikeouts, 11 walks, a homer, and opponents hitting .201 against LJ Cormier. 5 innings tonight for Andres Alvarez. No runs on a hit, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. He threw 98 pitches, 59 for strikes. And he gives way now to Cormier to try and pitch Auburn into the semifinals tomorrow against Arkansas.
6-0 Auburn on top. Tigers have out-hit the Aggies 9-1. Just a superb outing by Andres Alvarez. And Cormier comes on, leads the team with 17 appearances, and over the last 13 of those, he's given up 6 runs. 29 and 2/3 innings over those last 13 outings. Last time out against Georgia.
Terrific.
4 and 2/3 innings, 4 hits, just 1 run. Didn't walk anybody. And against Georgia, you have to limit the walks. They're going to get hits.
And then that led into the Saturday run rule win for Auburn.
That's right. Yeah, that was sort of a propeller, a catapult. Here's Caden Sorrell, first pitch to him. Low, ball 1. Sorrell singled, the only hit for Texas A&M in the first inning against Alvarez. He then struck out in the third. Cormier winds, plants, deals, and there's a swing and a miss at a changeup.
Wonder if we've ever had an SEC tournament where a dad worked TV and his son pitched in the same SEC tournament.
In the same tournament? That's a good question. TV showing Lance right now in his orange and blue. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back changeups, and Sorrell way out in front.
I'm sure Lance is glad just to be able to sit back and watch his son right now.
Got that right. Shift on against Sorrell. Here's the delivery. Off the end of the bat, popped up. Left side, Guevara comes over, crosses the foul line, makes the catch. One down.
A trio of off-speed pitches.
Yep.
He got him on curveballs, strike 1, strike 2, and then threw a change to get the pop-up for the out.
So Cormier gets Sorrell, and Hakopian comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's reached on a fielder's choice, and he's flied to right. Designated hitter, right-handed batter. Cormier eyes him, now goes into the wind in the pitch. Fouled back, 0-1.
Yeah, he's glad to see somebody other than Alvarez out there. Same thing for Dewar, who's on deck.
In fact, just about everybody in this lineup, I think, is happy to see somebody other than Alvarez.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, 0-1. Curve ball beauty, strike 2. Dropped it right in the basket. And now Cormier, just like you want to be in 280 traffic, out in front.
Good point.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Rembert gloves, throws, 2 away.
Yeah. And you can still see the effect with Hakopian running down to first base. He's giving it everything he can, but he's still dealing with that leg injury.
You see a little bit where LJ's poise comes from. They show the crowd. Everybody wearing orange and blue clapping for the out.
Mom and Dad?
Mom is clapping.
Was she?
Yeah, Dad's just watching.
Yeah.
Dad's just watching. 2 down, 6th inning. Here's Jake Dewar. Pitch.
You know,
low, 1-0.
We've talked so much about the four-headed monster of Auburn pitching. Sanders and Petrovic and Andres and Marciano.
1-0. Low, 2-0.
Maybe we need to add the thumb to that list right now. Huh?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. LJ has just been rock solid. There hasn't been that moment where he has faltered. And it hasn't mattered where. Pitch. Little chopper, right side, that's foul. 2-1.
And now as Auburn gears up for the regionals starting next weekend, that's those 5 guys. And then, by the way, you still have Hetzler.
Yeah. Your closer returning, who's become a bridge from Petrovic. Pitch. Little tapper back to the mound. Cormier fields, tosses to first, and it's an easy breezy 1, 2, 3, 6th for L.J. Cormier.
Lemon squeezy.
Hey, squeeze a little lemon over that casual seafood at Wharf.
There you go.
Huh?
Oh,
Seafood
yeah.
sourced from American waters. If you don't like seafood, they have burgers, salads, chicken, and more. Wharf Casual Seafood, 6 locations across central Alabama. We are through 6. It's Auburn 6 and Texas A&M nothing. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Auburn family, it's time to join the coolest club on the plains, Aubie's Kids Club, presented by Chappie's. Memberships for the upcoming school year are on sale now. Your favorite Tigers Kids Club offers 2 membership options. They give you awesome gear like an Auburn t-shirt, a men's basketball SEC Champions medal sign, and more. Throughout the year, you can check in at Auburn Athletics events to receive points, earn prizes, and you'll also get invited to special events only available through Aubie's Kids Club. Head to auburntigers.com/kids club to sign up today. War Eagle.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
Six runs, 9 hits, no errors for Auburn, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Texas A&M. Auburn sends Bingaman, Guevara, and Terrell to the plate against Shane Sadeo in the 7th, and we turn it back over to the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, to take you home.
Brad, thank you. You can listen to all things SEC, including live games and SEC This Morning. Tune to SiriusXM SEC Radio Channel 374 and streaming on the SiriusXM app. Ethan Bingaman will lead it off, 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch from Sadeo. There's a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. 94 from the left-hander. Third pitcher of the night for the Aggies. Pitch to Bingaman. Outside corner, strike 2. Down in the zone, but enough of a strike. 0-2 to Bingaman. Walked and scored in the first, has grounded out and struck out since. Pitch on the way. Inside and past the catcher, Harrison.
7 of the 9 starters have hits. Only Bingaman and Brandon McCrane do not.
Bingaman with 10 homers on the year, 41 runs batted in. Stretch by Sadeo, the pitch. Bingaman high, deep to left, back at the warning track. That is gone, long gone to left. 11 homers for Bingaman on an absolute bomb to left field, and the Tigers go up 7-0. Woo! How about that one?
Bingaman has a hit now.
And how? Both of Auburn's home runs tonight have come from freshmen leading off an inning.
And they've been nuclear.
Yes. Mason McCrane in Auburn's 4-run second, and Ethan Bingaman here in the 7th. And here is Eric Guevara. Pitch. Inside, ball 1.
That was over the bullpen.
Yes. That will be, I think, over 430 feet when we get the reading here. Guevara swings and fouls one off his foot. 1-1 the count. (7-0) Tigers now on 10 hits in the game. And Guevara making sure that that foot's okay. Back in the box. Now the 1-1, high and away. 2 balls and a strike to the Auburn third baseman. Singled in the first, singled homer run in the second, and grounded out on a good play by Grohovac in the 5th. Stretch in the pitch. Out in front of the off-speed delivery at 81. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Guevara. Hitting .344 in the year, 12 homers and 48 runs batted in. Sadeo, 2-2. Swing, blind ball in the center field. Center fielder on, and he makes the catch and hung up for Sorrell. Ball was hit well, but Sorrell ran it down in center field.
Guevara had a lot of those balls in College Station that he hit very well, really tagged, but Sorrell or someone else were able to run it down that weekend.
Here's Bub Terrell. Bub doubled home a run in the first. Has struck out and flied to center since. Auburn scored that run in the first, started it with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch on the way to Bub. Sweeps in for a strike on the outside corner. Bub steps out of the box. He's back in. 7-0 Tigers. We're in the top of the 7th. Pitch on the way. Missed the outside corner. Fastball at 92. A ball and a strike to Terrell. Bub hitting .307 this year. 15 homers. That leads Auburn. And 41 runs batted in. Cedillo winds and pitches. Bub swings and misses at 1 down and away. 1-2 the count. And that will send A&M into the full shift to the right side. Pitch. Terrell just got a piece of it. Ball and 2 strikes to Bub. Was 1 for 4 in that win against LSU Wednesday. 1 for 3 with an RBI here tonight. Cedillo pitches. Terrell looks at 1 high and appeal to third. He did not go, according to David Savage. 2-2 the count. Florida, Georgia in the first semifinal tomorrow. Remember, Florida won that series in Athens. Pitch. Terrell takes it high, ball 3. What was so startling about that weekend is that in that ballpark in Athens, Florida did not give up a home run.
Yeah.
And then came back to Gainesville, and Auburn took 2 out of 3. 3-2 pitch to Terrell. 1 out, 1 in for Auburn, the pitch. Bub swings and misses. 2 down. That's 8 strikeouts tonight for Texas A&M pitching. And it brings Brandon McCrane to the plate. 0 for 3 with 3 ground ball outs. Back to the pitcher and twice to the second baseman, Royo. Seven nothing Tigers. Top of the 7th. 2 outs, nobody on. Stretching the pitch. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. I don't think that was a strike, but
it is this week, right?
What do we know?
Yeah.
0-1. Fouled back. 0-2 the count. Bingaman led off the inning on a 1-2 pitch with a long home run to left. We still have not seen the distance on that one yet. Have you?
I have not.
Okay. 0-2. Back up the middle. Shortstop gets it. He fields, he throws, he's safe. Just took too long for Kellner to get to that ball behind second base.
It was a no-hopper. It was what do you call it? A worm burner, yeah. Skidded across.
So Brandon is on with his second hit of the SEC tournament, and here is his brother. Mason homered on an 0-2 pitch to lead off the second for Auburn. Since then has struck out looking twice. 7-0 Auburn leads it. We're in the top of the 7th. 2 outs and a runner at first. Stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Not out of the realm that Auburn sends Brandon McCrane. He is 16 of 19 in stolen bases right now. Lefty on the hill. And a snap throw over, and Brandon scampers back to the bat.
And him had the same idea there. Because you're within...
Yes.
You're within shouting distance here of ending the game early.
A ball and no strikes to Mason. Pitch on the way. Good take. Missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Bender upholds Brandon McCrane at first. 2 balls and no strikes to Mason McCrane. Here's the pitch. Ball 3 outside.
Looking at what Auburn has done against Texas A&M on the mound. And you look at A&M's season and the numbers they've put up so far, this is impressive tonight.
3-0. Ball 4. He missed the inside corner.
Good at bat.
And it brings Taylor Belza to the plate for Auburn. Oh, they're going to challenge. Don't go anywhere, Mason.
No, stay in the box.
This is not a good thing. Oh, he missed. Auburn has won a challenge.
Tell you what, if George Nunley doesn't come up with some kind of sharp graphic referencing a win in the ABS challenge system, there is no justice.
Mason does walk. It's the third walk of the night surrendered by A&M pitching. And it brings Taylor Belza to the plate. Reached on an infield single, scored in the second, an error in the third, and popped up to center in the sixth. Pitch. Strike call on the outside corner. The McCrane brothers on base. They're there with 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Belza out in front. He's behind 0-2.
Texas A&M was last held to 2 runs March 21st.
Versus?
Georgia.
0-2 the count to Belza. The McCranes get their lead. The pitch. It's the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes.
They've only scored 2 or fewer runs 3 times this year. 2 of the 3 were against Penn on February 20th and 21st.
1-2 pitch. Belza swings and misses, and the inning comes to a close. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time at the Hoover Met. Auburn leads Texas A&M 7-0. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents Visa debit card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
This game recap is presented by Regions Bank. Regions is a proud partner of Auburn University and the official bank of the SEC.
All of the scoring by Auburn thus far. Tigers got a run in the first on a 2-out double by Bub Terrell. Scored 4 times in the second. Headliner of that inning, a solo homer to lead it off by Mason McCrane. Auburn added single runs in the 6th and the 7th, and in the 7th it was Ethan Bingaman to lead off the inning. A freshman home run, second time tonight. Andreas Alvarez was very good for Auburn. He went 5 innings, gave up no runs on 1 hit. L.J. Cormier in his second inning of work, and he will get the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the 7th, with Auburn leading 7-0. The winner gets Arkansas tomorrow in the second semifinal game of the SEC tournament. The first match is Florida and Georgia. Bear Harrison will lead it off for the Aggies here in the 7th. He was 0 for 1 on the night against Alvarez. Struck out to lead off the second. Walked and was forced in the 4th. Cormier, the wind and the pitch. Right down the middle, but it missed low. A ball and no strikes to Harrison. Wind and delivery. Strike call. Ball and a strike. Cormier, the wind and the 1-1 pitch. Missed inside to Harrison. 2 balls and a strike to the Aggie catcher. 11 homers and 33 runs batted in. Cormier, the wind and the pitch. Harrison lines it foul. Look under the grassy area down the left side. Hope everybody's all right. That ball was smoked out there. That's typically where the kids roam down each side in the left and the right field corner. 2-2 to Harrison. Cormier, the wind and the pitch. Curveball hit him. So Harrison aboard, hit by a pitch to lead off the 7th. And that brings Ben Royo to the plate. Royo grounded to McCrane in the 2nd. Hit it hard to Guevara on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Harrison aboard, hit by a pitch to lead off the inning on a 2-2 delivery. As Cormier stretches and pitches, and Royo takes a strike on a fastball. Seven, 0 Tigers lead it. Bottom of the 7th, the runner at first, nobody out for Texas A&M. The pitch. Royo chops it left side. Backhand stab. McCrane, long throw to first. Safe. It was the only play he had. He had to go deep in the hole to get it.
Yeah.
And it's an infield single for Royo. And A&M has runners at first and second and no one out. That's the 2nd hit of the night for Texas A&M.
And the first since the 1st inning. He just hit it in the perfect spot.
Yeah. Strong throw to first, but Royo beat it there. And that brings Jorian Wilson to the plate. And he could put a dent in a 7-0 lead in a hurry. He's 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts, but that was against Alvarez. Stretch in the pitch. Fastball high, ball 1.
Well, you'd love to keep it down and maybe have him hit into a double play here, but he's swung and missed at high fastballs tonight.
1-0 pitch. Auburn didn't get the call there. I guess it missed outside 2-0.
And they only have one challenge left.
Pitch on the way. Change up, strike. Well, they showed that.
Yeah.
They showed his grip on TV, and you could see he was about to throw a changeup. Through the circle change. 2 balls and a strike to Wilson. Pitch on the way. Same pitch, same result. Fastball, or excuse me, change up, strike 2. Now back to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson. Runners at first and second and no one out for A&M in the 7th. 2-2 pitch. Wilson takes strike 3 on the outside corner.
Hey, he threw another changeup there, Andy. He just brought it down a little bit.
Whew. First strikeout of the night for Cormier. 10th of the night for Auburn pitching. The K counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1.
The only other time tonight Texas A&M had back-to-back base runners was the 3rd, and Alvarez was able to get back-to-back strikeouts and then a fly out to get out of it.
And here is the first baseman, Blake Binderup. Throw back to second base with Rembert covering, no tag applied to Harrison there. Binderup walked to lead off that 3rd that Brad was talking about. Made it to 3rd on a wild pitch but was stranded. He was also struck out. But again, this is his first look at L.J. Cormier. Stretch in the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Harrison at second and Royo at first. A ball and no strikes to Binderup, and that one misses low, 2-0. Seven runs, 10 hits, no errors for Auburn. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for A&M. Aggies have runners at first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, and that's ball 3 high.
Yellowwood scoreboard, UCLA came from behind to beat Purdue. Top-ranked Bruins beat the Boilermakers 4-3 in Omaha in the Big Ten tournament. In the Sun Belt tournament, Troy leads Southern Miss 6-2 in the bottom of the 9th.
3-0 the count to Binderup. The pitch down the middle for a strike.
That's a Southern Miss team that will host.
That would be a big win for Troy, trying to work their way into the NCAA tournament. 3-1 to Binderup from the Auburn pitcher, and it's a strike at the knees. Fastball that time. And now the count goes to 3-2. Harrison from second and Royo at first. Binderup awaits the 3-2 from Cormier. Here it is. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts with runners at first and second for L.J. Cormier. His second of the night. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1.
So again, the only time tonight A&M has back-to-back base runners. The Auburn pitcher, Alvarez in the 3rd, Cormier here in the 7th, gets back-to-back strikeouts to level things. And that got a clap from Dad.
Yes. 2 down, and here's Boston Kellner, who's walked twice tonight. Pitch on the way. Strike on a fastball at 91. You want Grahovac to lead off the 8th. He's on deck. First and second, 2 outs here in the 7th. Cormier stretches and pitches. Bounces up there, and nice job by Fralick. Blocked that with the chest protector and kept the ball in front of him. A 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Harrison at second and Royo from first. They're there with 2 outs. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Boston Kellner. Cormier comes set. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Curveball. 1-2 the count. That ought to bring the Auburn crowd to life. Yep. Cormier shakes off the sign and comes set. Look out for the changeup. Here it is. No, that was a fastball. He showed a changeup grip in his glove and then threw the fastball at 92 and it missed high. 2-2 the count. LJ gets his sign. 2-2 pitch. Little looper foul. That'll get out of play. Off the right side. Auburn in the third base dugout tonight.
That's back-to-back fastballs by Cormier. It's been mostly fastball changeup here. He's shown 1 or 2 curveballs. That's been about it.
Count remains 2-2 to Kellner. Stretching the pitch to the second baseman. McCrane flips to Rembert, and the inning comes to a close. Nice work, L.J. Cormier. Dad stands and applauds his son. After back-to-back walks, Cormier works out of the jam. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. We're through 7 in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. Auburn 7, Texas A&M nothing. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Looking for a street-legal golf car? Diamond Golf Cars has the largest selection in the state, and the Auburn store is right off Oplaca Road, closer than you think. With locations in Auburn, Birmingham, and Nutsville, they've been raising the bar since 2012 in golf car sales and service. Need a tune-up? Diamond Golf Cars is full service for all your golf car needs, and they offer pickup and delivery, carrying brands such as E-Z-GO, Club Car, Yamaha, and much more. Visit DiamondGolfCars.com today and drive different. Drive Diamond.
The Goose Performing Arts Center at Auburn University is Alabama's premier destination for the arts, bringing you the very best of Broadway, dance, music, and more. Learn more about upcoming performances and see the calendar of events online at gougecenter.auburn.edu. That's GOGUE center.auburn.edu. Or call the box office 334-844-TIXS.
It is 7-0 Auburn as the Tigers come to bat in the 8th inning, and they'll do so against a new pitcher. It is Weston Moss, who makes his first relief appearance of the year, a right-handed starter typically for Texas A&M. All 13 appearances this year starts. Moss 4-2 with a 5.95 ERA, 56 innings, 60 hits, 39 runs, 37 of them earned, 20 walks, 58 strikeouts. He's given up 10 doubles and a team-leading 15 home runs. Teams are hitting .275 against Weston Moss, 6'4", 190-pound junior right-hander out of Spring, Texas. Sadeo, 2 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, a walk and 3 strikeouts. He threw 52 pitches, 33 for strikes. Sadeo out, Moss in, and he will face Carter, Rembert, and Freilich.
It's been a good night for the disruptor. Bristol 2 for 3 on the night. Singled to left in the second, doubled to left in the 5th, and he has scored, in the 6th. And he has scored both times he's been on base tonight. That's saying something from your number 9 hitter.
Yeah. Weston Moss was perfect through 6 innings.
Yeah.
In College Station.
Auburn almost came back to win that game, too.
Yeah, once they got him out of the ballgame, they sure did.
Bristol shows bunt, takes the first pitch. It's a strike in there from Moss.
He went 6 1/3, gave up a run on 1 hit.
That was the final game of the series. 0-1, up and in to Bristol, a ball and a strike. Tigers lead 7-0. We're in the top of the 8th. Carter, then Rembert and Freilich for Auburn here in the 8th inning. Pitch on the way to Bristol. Shows bunt, takes strike 2. Good pitch on the outside corner and down.
Well, some in the stands have decided to head back for home or hotel or whatever else. Auburn fans, if they've chosen to leave, they're likely coming back tomorrow.
1-2 to Bristol. He went after a high fastball and came up empty. 1 down. And here's Rembert. Struck out to lead off the game, a sacrifice bunt in Auburn's 4-run second. Grounded out to third in the 4th and doubled a homer run in the 6th. Pitch on the way to Rembert. Misses low, ball 1. 4 homers and 43 runs batted in for the all-SEC second baseman, first teamer. Wind in the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0 the count. Seven to nothing, Auburn leads it. We're in the top of the 8th. 1 out, nobody on. 2-0. Rembert takes a strike. Fastball bearing in on the right or in the infield or the inside corner. Two balls and a strike to count to Rembert. Pitch, hit him. Oh, that was a fastball at 93 in. And it got him under the shoulder blade. Rembert just tosses the bat away and jogs to first. Here's Freilich. No chance for Rembert to get out of the way of that one. Steals second base.
Rembert basically made out of iron. There's no... Guy is absolutely chiseled, nothing but muscle.
He gets a lead. Here's the first pitch to Freilich. Inside, ball 1.
5th hit batter of the year for Moss.
Freilich with a double, and he scored back in the second inning. Stretched by Moss in the pitch. Fralick out in front of the off-speed pitch. He got a piece of it, though, and fouled it back. 1-1. $14 homers and 45 runs batted in for Fralick this season, batting .317. Rembert was moving away from the first base back, but gets back as Moss tries to pick him off. A ball and a strike to count. Stretch in the pitch. Fralick takes strike 2. Chase didn't like that one. Count as a ball and 2 strikes to the Auburn catcher. One ball, 2 strike count. A throw to first. Rembert stumbled a bit, but got back to the bag.
Winner of this game plays Arkansas. Razorbacks drilled Texas 8-1, but Hogs had to use Gabe Geckel in the game. Their starter, Hunter Dietz, was hit by a line drive in the first inning.
Another throw to first. Rembert back, standing up.
And so they brought Geckel in to pitch the majority of the way against Texas today. So they've got to figure out, they've got to go to a new plan for their starter tomorrow.
1-2 to Fralick. Here comes the pitch. Just got a piece of that one.
Camden Koziel hit 2 homers for Arkansas today. First one almost 450 feet.
We have seen some prodigious blasts this year in the SEC tournament. Bingaman hit one the last time he was up there.
Yeah.
He's on deck. Another 1-2 pitch to Fralick. Here it is. Runner goes high and outside. Throw to second base. And he stayed on the bag. He's safe. The 11th stolen base of the year for Rembert. Pretty good throw by Harrison, made it close.
Yeah. Yeah, pitch was high. He was in a good position to throw, made a good throw. Chris got a good jump on the ball.
Sure did.
And you called it. They hit him. He stole second base.
2-2 pitch to Fralick. Here it is. Fouled it back. Tigers lead 7-0. As we approach 11 o'clock Central Time here in Hoover. Rembert gets his lead at second. Stretch is the pitch. Fralick hits it to center. Sorrell backs up a couple steps, makes the catch. Rembert tags, and he will go to third, standing up. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Just not giving away anything, taking the extra 90 feet if they're there. Now you could score on a wild pitch, which Moss has 3 of this year. Wild pitch, pass ball. Get that 8th run home.
Bingaman's been on base twice tonight, scored both times, a walk in the first and a homer in the 7th. Rembert down at third base, 2 outs the pitch. And Bingaman taps it foul. Past the stoic Carl Nonamaker.
Yeah, neither of Auburn's base coaches are going to be overly animated out there.
No.
They're not dodging foul balls.
0-1. Bingaman takes it low. Ball and a strike to the Auburn freshman. 1 for 3 with a homer. His 11th of the season. Stretch. 1-1 pitch. Down the middle for a strike.
All 9 starters for Auburn have hits tonight.
A base hit here would give Auburn an 8-0 lead. Bingaman behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Bounces away, gets away from the catcher. Here comes Rembert. He is out at the plate. Great throw by Harrison to Moss, who tagged him on the backhand. And Auburn, I think, will challenge this call by Javaro January.
Yep.
The ball bounced, 20 feet away to the right of home plate? Originally called out by January at the plate. We'll get another look at it. Moss did a good job to get to it, or rather Moss covering on the play.
blocked the plate.
Yeah, it is blocking the plate. Yeah, he's standing in front of the plate.
I think he tags Chris before he gets there, but he's blocking the plate. Yeah, it tagged him on the forearm. That's a really good tag.
It's a great tag.
Yeah,
but did Auburn challenge whether he blocked the plate or not? And if they didn't, could they do it now, even if they don't get the call?
Dollars to donuts. They're only looking at the tag.
I know, but can you challenge on a challenge?
Right.
Is my point.
Right.
He is standing right. His feet are right in front of the plate as Rembert comes in. They're taking their time. And the inning comes to a close. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left for Auburn. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead Texas A&M 7-0. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
You're listening to Auburn baseball in the SEC tournament.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. It will be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters to face Cormier. Auburn leads at 7-0. Before we get there, we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Grahovac, Sorrell, and Hakopian in the 8th for Texas A&M. Tigers have shut out the Aggies on 2 base hits tonight. Alvarez for 5 innings, Cormier the last 2. And Grahovac will complete 1 trip through the order for the talented freshman out of Tuscaloosa, LJ Cormier. Grahovac is 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts and a double play ball. First pitch to him. Fastball and a strike. "36 pitches tonight for LJ Cormier. Right-hander winds and fires. Grahovac swings and misses.
Buddy, Cormier is...
That changeup's working for him tonight, Brady.
He is dealing.
No balls and 2 strikes to Grahovac. Pitch on the way. Chopper foul. A&M Ball Club that expects to be one of the host sites in the regionals. Likely to be a national seed. Could be.
They're in the discussion.
Yes. Auburn shifts with the infield to the left side, a step, and the pitch to Grahovac. Fly ball into shallow right. Out goes Rembert. Here comes McCrane. Loses his cap and makes the catch. 1 out.
Well, you know, UCLA, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, for sure they're going to be national seeds. How many does the SEC get? Will they get 5? Do they get the other 5?
And who's the first SEC seed?
Right.
Your Auburn Tigers are in that discussion.
They are, for sure. An RPI of 3, a #1 strength of schedule metric. You know, Georgia won 23 games in conference play, but their non-conference schedule wasn't nearly as challenging.
Here's Sorrell. First pitch from Cormier. Sorrell takes a strike with a fastball.
Say this, Auburn's resume is similar, if not a little better than what it was last year.
Well, Auburn's a couple outs away from going 2-0 right now in the SEC tournament.
Right.
Pitch on the way. Missed the outside corner. That was an Auburn team a year ago that was a number 4 national seed that lost 2 out of 3 at Ole Miss and then was bounced in one game in the SEC tournament, was still the national 4 seed.
Right.
1-1. Sorrell takes it low.
Yeah, 17 conference wins, and that's where it ended. This team, if it wins tonight, will have 17 conference wins plus 2 more at the SEC tournament.
2-1 the count to Sorrell. Pitch, swings and lines it into center. Bristol Carter in, now back, and makes the catch. Ooh! That almost cost him, but Bristol was able to recover in time for the out. And that's our defensive play of the game, presented by Cook's Pest Control. Best defense for the home is Cook's Pest Control. The South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928. Official pest control provider of the Auburn Tigers and the Bertram household. 2 outs. And here's Chris Hakopian.
Dad worked for Cook's Pest Control
Is
for
that right?
20 plus years. Yep. Close to 20.
That's a big body to go into those crawl spaces.
Well, he didn't do that part.
Oh, I see. Here's Hakopian. First pitch misses inside. He's 0 for 3 tonight. The top of this order, Grahovac, Sorrell, and Hakopian, have 1 base hit tonight. 1. Pitch. Strike inside corner. Sorrell is 0 for 3. Excuse me. Sorrell is 1 for 4. Hakopian is 0 for 3, and Grahovac is 0 for 4. Ball and a strike. The pitch. Ground ball, third base side, foul. 1-2 the count. 2 outs and nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 8th with Auburn leading Texas A&M by a score of 7-0. Winner will play Arkansas in the second semifinal tomorrow. Wind and the pitch. A little bit low.
Another challenge.
An ABS challenge, and it is strike 3. Chase Fralick won it.
And he put his hands up. His hands went up to celebrate.
Oh, for goodness sakes. That's the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the 9th. Auburn 7 and Texas A&M nothing. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Auburn football's Director of Player Development, Jeff Jones.
I really think the people who are special in this business actually get the concept of person first. Not football, not training, not food, not this, not that. Person first. Because the old adage, like, kids don't care what you know until they know that you care, right? So.
And yet, all those other things you talked about, he has talked about with regard to detail.
Mm-hmm. Any good educator, any good educator worth the salt understands the idea that you have to start there. And if you don't, like, what you're teaching doesn't matter. It won't soak in. It'll roll off.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
As we go to the 9th inning, Auburn leads 7-0. Texas A&M brings its closer in to give him some work. Number 25, Clayton Freshcorn. Freshcorn. Just those 2 words together. Junior 6-footer, 180-pound right-hander out of Waller, Texas, and McLennan College. He has a dozen saves this year in 24 appearances. He's 3-2 with a 2.42 earned run average. 44 2/3 innings, 42 hits, 13 runs, 12 of them earned. He has walked only 5, and he struck out 50. A 10-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio in 44 2/3 innings. Team's hitting .246 against Clayton Freshcorn. He'll face Bingham, Guevara, and Terrell. Moss, 1 inning of work. Hit a batter, but did not give up a run or hit. So Freshcorn is on for Texas A&M to work the 9th.
He will get Bingham Guevara and Terrell. Bingaman was at the plate when Rembert was thrown out trying to score on what would have been a wild pitch in the top of the 8th. Pitch to Ethan, flies it into center. In comes Sorrell. And there is one out. Auburn Baseball brought to you in part by East Alabama Health. With their spacious cancer center, patients can make cancer a distant memory instead of a distant drive. And that's why East Alabama Health is Auburn's home field advantage. Here's Guevara. Auburn now 3 outs away from a trip to the SEC semifinals to play Arkansas. Tomorrow afternoon, second game of the day following Florida, Georgia. First pitch, Eric, up and in. 2 for 4 on the night. Run scoring single back in the second. Wind and delivery. Swings and fouls it up and out of play off the right side. Tigers have shut out A&M on 2 base hits tonight. 2.
A&M has not been shut out this year. They've only been held to 2 hits by one other team, and that team is top-ranked UCLA.
Which came back and beat Purdue tonight in Omaha, the Big Ten tournament. Ball and a strike to Guevara. Wind in the pitch. Fastball that misses low. So fast it didn't register on the radar. Got 2-1. 99, that's why. Pitch. Took something off of that one at 87, and that's a strike. 2-2 now to Guevara.
Could have been the changeup at 87, maybe.
That was the changeup at 87.
Yeah.
The pitch before was 99.
Mercy.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the wind in the pitch. Just missed the outside corner, and A&M will challenge.
They may get this.
They may, you're right.
Yeah, that was close.
Just missed.
Oh.
I mean, barely.
Tell you what, Auburn's on a heater right now.
That's 3 in a row.
Uh-huh. That's what we call a winning streak.
0.7 inches. 3/4 of an inch. 3-2 pitch. Guevara reaches out and slaps it up into the auxiliary press box down the right side. Eric hitting .343 for the Tigers. Pitch on the way. Fouled it back. A team leading 49 RBIs, 12 homers on the season. Another 3-2 from Freshcorn. Guevara drives it into right, long run Wilson. He's going to get there, makes the catch. Close to the right field line, 2 down. When it left the bat, I thought it was moving a little further, closer to the line, but Wilson ran it down, 2 outs.
Didn't quite have that slice on it. It sometimes does off a right-handed bat.
And here's Bub Terrell. A 2-out run-scoring double in the first got things started for the Tigers. Auburn added 4 more in the second, single runs in the 6th and the 7th. And now leads 7-0 with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 9th. The pitch to Bub. Misses outside for ball 1. One-0 delivery. Took something off of that one, found the strike zone, a ball and a strike to Bub. Shift is on now for A&M. A ball and a strike to Terrell. Pitch on the way. Bounces up there. Nice block by Harrison. 2-1 the count.
Bub's at bats. He's kind of kick-started the offense in a couple of different ways first 2 games of the tournament. Had Auburn's first hit last night in the 2nd inning and drove in the first run tonight.
2-1 pitch. Terrell out in front, 2 balls and 2 strikes. For A&M in the 9th. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Dewar, Harrison, and Royo scheduled to face L.J. Cormier. Fresh corn, the stretch. Here's the pitch. Terrell lifts one on the edge of the outfield grass, and it will move out to Dewar, who the left fielder makes the catch, and Auburn retired in order on fly balls to center, to right, and to left. We go to the ninth. Tigers 3 outs away from the semifinals of the SEC tournament. Auburn 7, Texas A&M nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Hey Tiger fans, it's college baseball season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Backwards K's and Barn Burners. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this postseason. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Auburn baseball games or to any other live event in Auburn, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Auburn Tiger baseball. Let's go Tigers, SeatGeek.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
We move to the bottom of the ninth. Auburn leads Texas A&M 7-0 in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament at the Hoover Met. Jake Dewar, Bear Harrison, and Ben Royal are the scheduled 3, and we're going to get a pinch hitter to lead off. Terrence Keel II will lead it off for A&M in the ninth inning against L.J. Cormier, who's thrown 47 pitches in his 3 innings of work, has not given up a hit or a run. Alvarez, 5 innings, no runs on 1 hit. Auburn has given up, or has shut out A&M on 2 base hits tonight. And Keel at the plate. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Keel batting .265, bounces it left side. Guevara cuts in front, throws to first for the out. Keel runs well. Guevara got there first and threw him out. And there's 1 out in the inning. And we'll get David Ramirez to the plate now for A&M. Tigers have not won the first 2 games of an SEC tournament since 1999, I believe that's correct. Auburn is 2 outs away from doing that. Harrison at the plate, the pitch, swing, Ramirez at the plate, swings and misses. It is Bear Harrison, I apologize. The A&M catcher. 0-for-2 on the night, hit by a pitch back in the 7th. Wind and delivery. Inside, a ball and a strike. Royo waits on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Tigers lead 7-0. Wind and delivery. Misses low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Cormier unofficially at 52 pitches tonight. He winds and fires. And just misses inside. 3 balls and a strike, because that one missed also low. A&M has not been shut out this season. They've only been held to 2 hits on 1 occasion this year. That was against number 1 UCLA. Foul back here from Harrison. Count goes full. And below us, that may have gone into one of the broadcast booths. If not, it came close. And may have been caught by a young man who wore his glove to the ballpark. Yeah, looks like it. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Harrison. Cormier, the wind and the pitch. Up and in. And Harrison walks. Third time he's been on board tonight. A couple walks and a hit batter. And that'll bring Ben Royo to the plate. Royo with an infield single back in the 7th. A fielder's choice in the 4th, and he grounded to short in the 2nd. Ryan Hetzler starts to warm up in the Auburn pen just in case. Pitch on the way. Royo takes it high. And Fraley will come out and talk it over with Cormier, who uses the rosin bag. Steps back on top of the hill. 7-0 Auburn on top. A runner at first, one out for A&M. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Cormier comes set. Here's the pitch to Royo. High fly ball into left, but not deep. Terrell drifts in. He's there. 2 outs. And Jorian Wilson to the plate for A&M. He's 0 for 3 on the night. He has struck out all 3 times. Struck out swinging in the 2nd and the 4th against Alvarez. Struck out looking against Cormier in the 7th. Auburn will go to the shift to the right side of the infield as Cormier tries to finish off A&M and send Auburn to the SEC tournament semifinals tomorrow against Arkansas. First pitch to Wilson. This is low for ball 1. Auburn took the lead in the first. The Tigers have not relinquished it. Adding to it, now leads 7-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. A runner at first. And a 1-0 pitch to Wilson. Swing and a miss. And Jorian was trying to eliminate the shutout with 1 swing of the bat, and he can do it. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Jorian Wilson. I think Jorian called time. Back in the box, and Cormier's ready to throw. Now the 1-1. Bounces up there, blocked by Fralick. 2 balls and a strike. Bender up, waits on deck. If Wilson can get on. Stretch. Here's the pitch. Wilson fouls it back. And Auburn's within a strike of moving on to the semifinals of the SEC tournament. Seven 0 Auburn. 2 outs, a runner at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Jorian Wilson. Cormier comes set. And the 2-2 pitch. Miss low. Auburn will challenge it. Fralick feeling his oats right now. Got it! Strike 3. Auburn wins. Strike 3. Auburn wins. Cormier strikes out Wilson, and the Tigers shut out Texas A&M. Auburn 7, Texas A&M nothing. Auburn will play Arkansas tomorrow in the semifinals of the SEC tournament. Your final score tonight: Auburn 7, Texas A&M nothing. Stay tuned. The Regions Bank postgame show is next. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our